Mariano, me, you, Padre,
Oh,
the cloaking Christopher Brown.
Bang, early time shit show.
Oh, I got 8:35.
5 minutes late.
Let me grab a piece of paper if you want me to keep timestamps.
Oh, yeah, if you want to do that.
I'll grab it.
Okay. I have adjusted my camera so you people can understand that my cat just sits here, right here, while I do this most nights. Because my camera was over there. There. And yes, she does like to just let me boop her nose. Oh, yep. Ooh, even Montana's chiming in asking for timestamps.
And if we get tired, we can design plays for the basketball squad later on.
Ooh.
The OCX basketball team.
Oh, speaking of which.
Oh, no.
A team has been assembled and a team has been made and registered for an event that just was open for registration earlier, like an hour or two ago. Chat, I would like you. I'm working on it. A cat. Oh, Schluter's doing a cat alt art. Perfect.
Here's the other one. Here's hosts with cats.
My cat's name is Bugsy. Just a girl. The reason why we called her Bugsy is because when we first saw her, we were adopting. She had really big eyes, and we were like, "Hey, Bug Eye." So she just ended up being Bugsy. Oh, now you're moving. You better not go on top of my desktop. You are not allowed up there.
That's where I'm headed.
I wouldn't doubt it. Shifting camera back.
And this is Sam.
Here, I'll move
this is
the
Sam's third appearance on OCX. Oh. All right. You can get
So, Schluter, what you should do if you're doing cat alt arts is if you say like you had 9 of them, you need to do like red 1 through 9 or gold 1 through 9 and have them be your cats. That would be the best.
Ooh, let's see.
So how did you survive the snow because Michigan didn't get any of it. It cut right below our boundary.
We had 13 inches. And I paid 2 guys on 4-wheelers with blades to blade out my driveway. And that was money well spent.
Sounds like it.
But Joel and I stayed in all weekend.
Hey, don't do that. What are you doing messing with my stuff?
Food purchasing. So we were good to go.
I'm moving her.
There we go. Now I've got that up. And I'll get this ready to go. Yep.
Okay, that's better. That way she's not like randomly taking her claws and strumming on the springs of this mic holder. Should just be a loud twang every once in a while. Snow, what's that? You should find out, Christopher Brown. It's a experience.
I just love the first big snow when all the amateurs get out.
Man, the time when it's the first, it actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter what snow of the year it is. There's always going to be bad drivers. It could be the first snow, which everyone expects everyone to forget how to drive in the snow, or it could be the last snow of the year, and people will still be bad. Excuse me.
So Coach is doing a presentation an hour away at 6:30. I wonder how long his presentation was. Oh God, it's Coach. He could talk for hours.
He can talk for hours if he's having beer, which is probably happening.
Well, before we start the real show, I'll go get a beer. But right now, we're just kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that Coach won't take too long, and we'll be able to start when he gets here. Ideally, in 20 minutes, or less. Chat, what beers and drinks do you have? I am trying the Atwater First Brown Ale. I've had some of their beers before, but this is the first time I've seen this.
I will be doing Dos Equis again.
Okay.
Because it's cold and I have it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, it works. So you got Schluter with Blue Moon, Mad Medic with a Pepsi, Jack and Coke, solid.
Yeah, that's a solid one, Georgie.
George.
Oh, Bruno contacted me. Because he's wanting an OCX commercial.
Didn't you like give him another one?
I made one for him.
Okay.
And sent it to him, and then I had to send air horn soundtracks for him. And then I did a real cheesy PSA for Millennium Condor, but he didn't know he was getting that. I just tagged it in at the back of it. And I did it in my super cheesy French accent as Maurice Chevalier and the mimist. I'll think of him in here in a minute. But of course, the mimist is miming everything and not talking on the radio. He said, "I can't get Coach to do anything. Can you do? You're my last hope." I said, "Here."
I guess I don't know what route I would do for a commercial. You know what I'd probably try and do?
At least yes, Marcel Marceau. That's right, Padre. You got it.
Oh, okay. I would probably do a combined commercial of OCX and Stay on Target and go with something that deals with Stay on Topsky. But that's if it was just on me to do it.
Well, sure.
You put in your French words. I
did not throw in French words. I know no French words. I just speak them as if I were a Frenchman.
Early accents, get them in now before Coach is here. Who's got the over-unders on all of our episode stuff today? Where's Captain? Where's Captain, our bookie?
We're trying to figure out if the over and under on the overall health ratio between Padre and myself is truly accurate or not.
You need to stop comparing yourselves by that. It's not healthy.
Hey, we're upright and vertical. Well,
that's very true.
Hey,
Padre's planning on coming out and play this Friday, so we're all excited to see him again.
Oh, cool.
And apparently Patrick's been like grilling him on like, you will beat on Topsky.
I actually I think I was the only viewer for one of their get together shows this week. Patrick goes, "Well, hey Mark, where are you viewing this from?" And Padre goes, "I bet he's viewing it from his truck." And Patrick says, "Oh no way!" I said, "Oh yes, I am."
I have yet to. I gotta watch one of those because I just want to see even the layout, the whole green screen thing where he's like in a cockpit of some type and the other one's like up on the screen. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was. I saw that and went,
Christopher Brown, how did I do at Outrider? My list was put down every game or every round because I was like, come at me. And they did. But they brought their counter lists to me. I was like, oh, I made the games as close as possible. I specifically did not do that great. The points I got from my team may look good, but I only won one game out of the 4. But that's one of our talking points tonight, so I can't go into that too much. The early spoilers. As one great man would say, I don't make predictions, I make spoilers. If anyone in the chat can tell me who that is, I will give them something that I'm thinking of right now. I don't know what it's going to be, though. Oh, the stream one with Dion and Patrick. Yeah, that one looked like it's to be a good one. What should I give the person? I'll put in chat. Better not freaking Google this, chat. You have to know it or don't. Don't make predictions. Make spoilers. Out Googling that, chat. I trust you. If you know who said that, I will at least give you a cookie, because at least my wife normally makes those. But probably an alt art card from my collection that I don't think is a common one. How about that? It is nothing from X-Wing and is nothing from Star Wars, so good luck.
Hey, Tommy Adams, you sent me a friend request today on Facebook, and we were already friends. I think some hacking shenanigans is going on.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I'm like, I thought me and Tommy were already friends. So I don't know if it was like Andrew Knuckles where someone made like another one of those. That happened like a few weeks ago. Oh, Tommy said he got that fixed. Cool.
Thank you.
Coach, do you have an ETA for me? No. Tyler said anything? No. Oh, so someone cloned his account. He wasn't hacked. Got it. What's up?
So I get a my children. If my daughter calls, it's because the car doesn't work. And if my son calls, it's because it's something X-Wing related. But he told me that Indiana Regional has been scheduled, or the counterpoint of that. It's in April sometime. I'm trying
April
to get
13th. I've got them all on my calendar 13th? Already.
Okay.
Let's see. In the Midwest region, for people who are not aware, this might not be all of them, because I only put down the ones that I was like, this is like a state or two away. But holy crap, my March is going to be busy. Because I go to Crate Cup the first weekend of March, and then there's the Ohio Hyperspace Trial Cup at Epic Loot Games the second weekend of March. And then, as we all know, Adepticon is the last weekend of March. So March is a month for a lot of us. April 13th is Family Time Games. May the 4th is Red Raccoon Games in Bloomington.
I'll be there.
Yep. That'll be quite the appropriate date for that, too, May the 4th. And then June 8th at the Gaming Guild in Evansville, Indiana, which is like, I was like, that's in Indiana. It's only a state away. You know, it's probably...
No, it's a state and a half away.
I found out. I typed in the address and I was like, oh, you're at the toe of Indiana.
Yeah, you get to Terre Haute. You're not there yet.
Like, I could probably go to the Louisville Hyperspace trial and get there an hour earlier. I didn't think it was crazy.
Because I think there's like only one interstate road that heads that direction and doesn't go to Evanston.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, it will take you 7 hours to get to Evansdale. I was like, whoa there. I might not be going to that one. So, I mean, at this point, and it doesn't show it, but my local game store, Eternal Games, in Michigan, is said they were supposed to get one in the first half, but it didn't get put up yet. And that may be because Aaron's going to be coach 10 minutes. That is on time from his 30-minute original prediction.
Plus or minus 20.
Oh, I don't want that. But we told the store late April, early May for ours. My guess, because May the 4th that's the Red Raccoon games, right?
Yes. Actually, it's not at the game store. There is a local gaming convention going on, and it's going to be out at that.
Okay.
And the entry fee is $30, and for $35 you get 2 slices of pizza and a soda that's provided. So
okay,
that's pretty standard for those guys.
Yeah. So Eternal is supposed to get the first half, and we said end of April, early May. I think since they consider us in the same region, like I think we mentioned the podcast before, the state regions, they broke them up into like 4 states or so. So Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois all occupy that region. And we're supposed to have 6. What I've counted so far was 2 for Indiana, 1 for Illinois, 1 for Ohio. There may be 1 to 2 more that actually haven't gotten solid dates that will eventually. So I expect Eternal Games to be end of April if they're trying to stagger those. And that'll be in Warren, Michigan. And
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, and then I think Padres' main store, Stomping Grounds, they're getting the second half in Michigan. So the next lineup of 3 to 4 months.
Well, I've heard rumors about where second half is going to be in Illinois, and I'm really not at liberty to say at this time, I guess. I guess it's tough.
I mean, I would assume if Pastime Games didn't get it the first half, they'll get it the second half. Unless they're already in the first half, and that's one of them that wasn't announced yet, because Illinois only had 1. Hey, another person.
Tyler. That's Tyler. I know that wolf anywhere.
Now we just need the God, all you tall people. By the way, I see Johannes in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Tyler?
Hey,
my headphones were not working at first.
Hey, buddy. So when Coach gets here, we'll have over 18 feet in height of hosts and co-hosts. I'm sorry, Antopsky, you're just left out.
I mean, I'm close to 6 foot. I'm not exactly short, but against you guys, it doesn't matter. This might go on record to be the best ratio of amount of people on a cast to height that you might ever see in any podcast.
Are you guys casting to Twitch or Facebook?
It is YouTube right now. We are live. Just doing early shit show until Coach gets here. He said 10 minutes, and that was like 5 minutes ago. So
I mean, I told him 9 o'clock originally. I just got out a little bit early.
Nice. So I think the tentative docket tonight was minor Outrider recap, maybe a little bit of discussion on the triple Upsilons and what I was kind of favoring going into like thoughts of how it itself could shape the meta, because while I don't think it's a broken yet squad, I think it's a squad that does force the burden of execution on the opponent.
Yeah, that's true. The other huge side of it is there's a large burden of execution on the player to like not just be dumb.
Well, yeah.
Like the number of people I see are dropping triple ups and then just like fundamentally doing wrong things with them. Like you'll still get wins, but like I think it's a solid 4-2 list.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it obviously doesn't have a high ceiling, but it's one of those gatekeeper types.
Man, it is. It gets real scary though. Like,
I mean, I kind of see it. I don't want to go too much in this for the show, but
for sure.
Generally, I think it warps potentially the meta enough to maybe hurt those 2 dice chips in general, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was able to moderately overcome some of it and make it a game, but again, it was just I ran out of time / ability to dodge all the arcs.
Yep.
Because there were still 2 ships left, and I only had 1.
Yeah, that's the thing is like if you were running it heavily punishes low ship count lists, or and like honestly even like swarmish lists don't want to really see it. It's that middle of the road like resistance has a good fight into it with things like 2x 2a, right? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my first experience was against Tyler Shaw. You may have seen the picture. I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Yes.
I had Tavzin, Midnight, Malrus, and Muse. So 3 2-dice ships, and then Tavzin. So as I made it a game with Midnight at the end, where I had both of them at half, but I messed up once with Midnight, and he nattied out 4 dice, and I did not get an evade. So dead.
The big thing that I noticed with it, so I played it twice in Aces. I've got it on the back foot to play it again. Because I haven't played the version that I think is the best, is you typically get 1, maybe 2 shots a turn, but that shot is being like double coordinated to have great mods.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what's scary about it is even when they get stuck in, they punch real hard.
Yeah. What if I just always had Proton Torpedo?
Yeah. 5 dice protons, sure, whatever. Yo, you got close. There's your mistake.
Yep. What if
I
had lower initiative, got the block, I didn't care, I don't get PS killed?
And one of the like it's the action bar on it that like is really what sets it apart. Like it has you know what I mean? It has white jam, white coordinate, white reinforce. Like nobody has that nonsense. That's so good.
Yep.
I watched Adam Kemper's win his, I think it was round 3 game on Outrider.
Yeah.
And I'm watching I'm watching that. I'm going, there's no way he should win. There's no way. Why did he turn that way? I don't understand. And the last die roll of the game. Well, winner, chicken dinner.
I really wish I had that game on Vassal because I think, who was it? Was Tyler who? Tapson, you said? Or Tyler who?
Oh, no. Adam Kemper's played it in Hyperspace.
And then but who did he play against?
I can look it up now since it's a Gold Squadron.
Was
anyway.
it Daniel? No.
But it was because it was a Kylo player. And he had Dormits on like 1 hull and a Starkiller base above half, so like full points. But the Kylo was like had 1 hull left before he went to half points and was like 115 or some crap like that. So it was outpointing the other 2 ships. I think the move that he could have made, because he boosted and then barrel rolled and then did the 5 straight. And then focused afterwards. I think if he just boosted 5 straighted, he could have barrel rolled and been inside the arc of the Upsilon. It could be camera tricks too, but
yeah. It's
Ryan Fleming says Rhett
Laufenberger.
Yeah. Okay, I remember it was a long last name. Yeah. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, Fleming's here too. Look at that.
That would have been that's one of those like after the game I want to see that move. Let's see where that puts it at.
Yeah, we'll get into more detail.
Granted, if it doesn't work right, like then you're range 1. So
we might hash over some of this stuff again just for when it's on the cast, but
for sure.
And then I think probably commercial-ish break, I would assume, and then we'll kind of hit the Hyperspace trial announcement. And I think Coach wanted to go and just like, I think comparing Hyperspace format and how it feels in comparison to like X-Wing in the old days when all you guys played before I did. So.
Sans Jerry, since he's hiding on us, I guess.
Right.
Oh, I guess Fleming's discussing what he did in the game. I'm assuming he might have been a Pittsburgh guy then.
I don't know why I'm typing. I can just say this out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in and out of that game the whole day, and so like I saw the start of it, and then I saw the so I saw it was he basically had lost one of the Upsilons, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's an Upsilon. Like there's no way, right? It's two on Kylo, but just like Kylo runs for 75 minutes, like good luck. And then apparently he got some shots on Kylo.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Oh,
it was
see, Ryan
amazing.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, Indy did get a lot of points in the last round. Sorry. Yes.
10 points.
Some of those came from Detroit because we had a hard time finding our double skin matchup. And it happened to be Indy. Oops. And also Tyler Shaw was a skin against me. So
yeah, I really enjoyed the format. I was trying to get as much information as possible. I actually even listened to a Gold Squadron podcast when everybody was on it, and just the whole strategy and getting your team set up and whatnot, that really appeals to me. But of course, I would be the bait to be thrown out there for the Lions to eat. But you know,
so as a viewer, I think Dion wanted to get some of the pairing process on film. Did he or no?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I didn't see any. I'll put it that way.
I was gonna
Doesn't
say
mean it wasn't there, but I didn't see any.
If he did, it was super hectic. Like I don't know what he would get out of that, except for a bunch of people just yelling like cities and I pick this city and all that. Hey, there's the final piece to the puzzle.
What's going on?
Fleming, God, I hope he didn't.
What's that?
We were talking about Outrider, and Dion originally wanted to get some of the pairing process on film, and we're like, God, that was so chaotic. I don't know what you get out of that.
I heard. Question?
Answer?
Sir?
Anybody start timestamps?
Yes.
Oh, look at you guys.
We went on YouTube at 8:35 Central Time.
Oh wow.
Yep.
You guys have been you're halfway through the show. Awesome.
We got a crowd in the ready room. We got Tyler here. We got you here. Jeez, it's like excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Packed house, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I like to come into.
Yeah, we even got I saw Ryan Fleming's in the chat. We had Johannes in the chat.
You know, I knew one of these days we'd get big.
Tommy Adams. I'm not sure which Tommy it is. There's like 17 of them on Facebook anymore.
Oh no, it's the Tommy Adams.
It's the Tom. My minion,
the Tommy Adams.
Matthew
We gotta
Evans
get
is
that
here.
going. What?
My minion, Matthew Evans, is here.
So, Coach, I said this earlier while you weren't here, but this might be the best amount of host to height ratio in any podcast ever for X-Wing.
What do we combine? Let's see. There's 6.
Well, there's
12,
18 and 6, so that's 24 feet of hosts and co-hosts and guests.
6'5". Thank you very much. Come on, let's add the inches.
Okay, so that makes it 25 feet.
You know, that should have been the title. 25 feet of X-Wing pure goodness. I worked really hard on this freaking title, too. Like,
that's a good tongue
that was,
twister.
I mean, hey, alliteration is always the best. So I'm
right?
Two
happy
tall
with that.
Tippetts talk tournament tactics tonight. 2 tall Tippetts talk tournament tactics tonight. Mouthful.
Say that fast 5 times.
Full.
Hmm.
Hello, chat.
We'll try and get Coach to do that later when he's had a few drinks.
I pre-gamed a little bit.
Kiefer's here.
But you were making a presentation. This should be like professional or something and not drink as much?
That was an hour ago.
Okay.
Come on.
How do you think you get ready to stand and talk in front of people?
They don't call it gravel travel for nothing, baby.
Shot of whiskey is a good start to any presentation.
No.
Just one,
No.
not multiple.
Oh,
One.
just one.
He said a shot.
One, not shots.
It's not my fault. My shots come in triples. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I think I remember what our show notes are going to be, so we'll just, I'm a professional. I do this for a living, kind of. Sort of. Yeah, I'm kind of sad Jerry wasn't going to make. He never fucking got back to me. Like, I saw his little messenger bubble, and he saw my message, and I'm like, well, are you going to be on or not? And he's like,
oh man, left on red. The saddest time.
right? All right. Timestamp it.
9:05.
Good morning, X-Wing! Hey, this is not a test. This is OCX Radio. Time to rocket from the Delta Pilot to the 4BZ. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the OCX Radio podcast, broadcasting from the OCX studios in beautiful downtown Orange City, Iowa. My name is Aaron the Coach Crawl, and join with me today, words, none other than the OCX ace of a legend, Ryan Ontofsky. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing okay, besides letting my city down.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you did. But
First
you're not the only one that let their city down.
Oh yeah, there were eight other teams. It's okay.
There can only be one winner. There can only be one. 487 miles to my left, Mr. Uncle Mark Tippett.
Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like the kind of torture to have to watch the show. But now let's get things started. Why don't we get things started? It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational celebration, OCX sensational. Welcome to the OCX. Oh, geez. OCX podcast show.
You were doing so well.
Damn it. Hi, guys.
Hi, Mark. Now, also joining us today,
or whenever,
weighing in at we don't know how many pounds, but standing tall like 3/4 of the people on here. All the way from Scum and Villainy, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Tippett, hero of the Empire.
Better known as Starslinger 72.
Also,
and weighing in this morning
known as Starslinger 72.
Weighing in this morning at a svelte 224.
Holy shit, dude! You're fat.
I am. I'm like 30 pounds over right now. I'll be 195 to 200 in April.
I was gonna say, like, I've never seen you that. Like, you beefing up or what?
I drank a lot this summer.
Oh, that'll do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'll do it.
Beer weight.
Yeah. Oh, 100% beer weight. Then I messed up my knee about a month back, and so had to heavily not do things.
You just let it go.
Well, I'm not gonna change the way I eat or party.
Nothing but White
go to the gym as much.
Castle and Budweiser. I see. Right? I get you.
I mean, it's McDonald's and Coors Light, but close enough.
Oh, all right. Well, a presidential meal nonetheless.
You're not wrong.
I told him welcome to the 30s.
Oh, you're not 30 yet, are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll be 33 in April.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah.
What are we gonna be pop? Okay, we'll wait for the questions for that one. I got a good question one for you. Okay, so he's not really a new guest, but we haven't had you on in.
It's been a hot minute, like a year and a half.
Man, because you were on what, episode 5?
Yeah, it was real early. It was right after 2017 Worlds.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't think he's had an episode with Chico, so that's been that long.
Well, we had a subtle episode with Chico where some nonsense happened, and me and Kelvin rated every podcast we could get on, just dialed in, hey, we're here now, let us rant.
I vaguely think I remember that one.
Yeah,
Chico bailed.
He did. I mean, that's probably the right answer.
Oh well. Don't worry, Ricky. We're gonna get you on here one of these days. You're fucking free your schedule up, man. I've got 2 kids. You only have 1. Deal
Was he
with
yelling
it.
at you in chat? I don't even see him.
Oh, he's always whining and
I
crying
mean,
that he's never. I don't ever get invited onto the show.
You should be in Slack with him, man. That's a constant whining and crying.
What is Slack?
It is a group messenger service.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's what we use for our podcast. We also use Discord.
Yeah,
So.
everyone uses Discord, Slack, and Facebook Messenger, and it all could be in one place. Maybe
You're
I
not
know
wrong.
what Discord is.
Yeah,
I got that one. I'm hip.
So
with the crowd.
okay, so Slack has been around for a lot longer than Discord has,
Mhm.
and is used a lot more in the professional scene too. So like I have a couple Slack channels for like programming groups and work groups, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kick this baby off, and we're gonna ask you our random regular questions that we ask our guests. First of all, how long have you been in the game?
Since Wave 1.
That's
So a long time ago, what, like 6 Thanksgivings-ish, something like that. I don't know, whenever it came out, Uncle Mark like sent me a Facebook message or called me one day after work and was like, hey, I was in a comic book shop in Springfield and I saw this cool game and it's Star Wars and it looks like it's a miniatures game and everything comes pre-painted and you should buy it. And that's pretty much all it took. And so I went on Amazon and bought a core set and a couple extra TIE fighters, because back then, whenever we would find a new minis game, he was always the good guys, I was always the bad guys. So like we played Dust before that, and he was the US, I was Germany. Battletech before that, he was Intersphere, I was Clan. You'll note that I'm never actually the bad guys, but like, you know, from certain perspectives.
Yes,
always,
you are.
It's always the perspective. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it.
You're evil.
So, but yeah, so I'm pretty much since Wave 1. I missed the first World Championship because we hadn't played. In theory, I owned the game. I just didn't even know organized play was a thing for it, right? Like we weren't even looking at it. So,
nobody thought there was.
Either was. You're not wrong. There was like 40 people at the World Championship. Shout out Doug.
Where did the nickname Reinhardt? Oh nope. Sorry, old show notes.
Where did the nickname Starslinger come from?
So Starslinger is a like slang word so it's a 40k reference. So a Starslinger is like an Imperial Guard reference to the Shuriken catapult, which is the Eldar main weapon, which throws like spinning stars instead of bullets, right? So it's a gravity railgun that shaves off monofilament edged shurikens and launches them at high velocity and at great rate of fire. So Imperial Guardsmen called them Starslingers. So I was just like, oh, and I mean, it's like a footnote in the back of an Imperial Guard Codex, or in the back of like a, like a episode, or a 5th edition, maybe even a 4th edition Eldar Codex kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So I thought Starslinger was a cool just thing. And then 7th grade, Tyler was required to make a Yahoo email address for school. And Starslinger, like just the name was taken, and one of the options was 72. So I clicked that one, and it's stuck for how many? 15, 17 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. And since
it's just a really good name. I mean,
I was like, I liked that. I was like, because it was one of those that was before like online handles were really big, right?
Yeah.
But then 3 years, or I guess it was even probably the next year, we started doing like Yahoo chat rooms. So I was, it was just your email address, right? Like that was your name.
Nothing like those red alert chat rooms.
Yeah, right. Like, yes, it was Quake chat rooms for me. But and so then it kind of transitioned into when I went to college, I started playing like StarCraft and the 40K real-time strategy. What was that one? Why can't I think of this? I played the shit out of this game. I should know this. Okay, art.
Wow, that's not near loud enough typing. You gotta Chris Allen the shit out of that one. Just click.
We both have mechanical keyboards because we're both old StarCraft players.
Dawn of War?
But yeah, Dawn of War. Yes, Dawn of War, exactly. So, but the same idea, like you just kind of like, it was like, enter your handle. And I was like, well, I've been Starslinger 72 this whole time, any other place I've been online. So just kind of kept with it. And then it was a video game handle, all that nonsense, and kept going.
Nice. Now I'm going to ask you this because we ask everybody, but I know the answer is, What was your favorite faction pre 2.0, and what is your favorite faction looking forward into 2019?
Well, so like obviously for like first edition game was Empire. That's the only faction I played outside of some Scum games. Like I can think of, I played one game of Rebels. Like maybe, well, no. I played one game of 100-point Rebels that I can think of, like out of all of them, which was right after we got the early release B-Wings.
Okay.
And so I had 3 blue squadrons with advanced proton torpedoes, ion cannons, and fire control systems. Because if I hit you, you were effed the following turn.
You were gone.
And it was terrible, but it was fun. And so I played that probably like 3 times at a local, just like come and play with our new crap night, and then never looked back. And I had a bunch of Scum games in there too. I played a lot of Scum Firesprays, things like that.
All right.
So in 2.0, like I'm currently playing Empire, but I'm looking heavily at First Order as well. So, and then I will be all over the Separatists.
Yes.
There's going to be so much Rogering. No one is ready.
Man,
like because the perfect. So I'm going to Arizona in 2 weeks, right? For the Arizona System Open. And my plan is to top 8 that, so I just don't have to care about a Worlds invite for the rest of the year, and I can meme my ass off as much as I want at every tournament I go to.
Just Roger all year long.
Every single thing I can. Like I don't care if it's good, if it's bad, I'll make it bad. You're just gonna hate. Like I'm gonna have so many vultures just camped on asteroids.
I mean, you almost wonder if there's a modder out there, a guy who mods, and we know a few. That if you can make it to where you end your maneuver, and at the end of every maneuver it says Roger.
Oh jeez. Okay.
I'm thinking about. I thought you were going the route of like the model mod, where you could turn them and like someone or mod it so it looks like they're walking.
Yeah, where I can actually physically land them on the
asteroid. Yeah, no, that's gonna happen. But I literally want whenever I complete a maneuver, like it physically knows when I put from this end to this end, and I've completed a maneuver, it's gonna go Roger.
Dial reveal, Roger. Action,
realistically,
Roger.
I'm bringing so many seismic charges.
That's fine. I really, so you know the Staples easy buttons, right?
Yeah.
Like just get one of those and just reload it for Roger. Just smash that every time I do anything.
That's gonna happen, and someone is gonna come up with it, and they'll sell like probably 50 of them. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm
sure it's already a soundboard. There's got to be an app for it.
If that isn't a prize at Crate Cup,
I'm looking.
Where's Chris?
Yes, Chris, we have a prize idea.
Okay. The minute that article came out, I was like, "Oh my god, this screams Tyler." It's just he's gonna do bad things with vulture droids, but
I don't know if it'll be good. Like we've talked about it on Scum and Villainy a little bit. Like there is in the Android soundboard with it on. Nice. Okay. Johanna says there is already one out there. Great. I will go look at that quickly. I like the design space of them. I like the AIs that you can plug into the. I'm not going to say the real name, the Bulbasaur's, because the real name's dumb. As like pure support ships, and depending on what AI you slot in, that greatly dictates what your vulture droids do and are good at it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of space you could do with that, and I could have the same, 4 to 6 vultures, 1 to 2 support ships, and maybe even like a Sith infiltrator. But that whole swarm aspect of the list can change 100% depending on what I'm slotting in there via like pilot abilities or like the AI upgrades that are like the swarm upgrades.
They with that slot alone, they have made when they came out with 2.0, they said each faction is going to have their own identity.
Yeah.
And we're all like, okay, we already know what pretty much every identity is going to be, but we didn't know they were going to be coming out with the old Republic and the Sith stuff. And man, do I think they hit the nail on the head. It's so perfect. The whole yes, rebels interact with each other, but these guys are dependent on each other.
Right. They are garbage if they don't have others around them that help them. Yeah.
You literally you almost need to have 4. At least 4.
Yeah.
Roger.
Roger. Nice.
Thanks, Dad.
But it's the same. Oh, Chris is in. Holy shit!
No,
Oh, is he making the button? Yes.
he's real excited about it already. I can tell. But so the other really cool thing that I like about that is one of the big concerns when you bring in these two factions, right? Like we already have First Order and Resistance that don't have a large model pool compared to like the original 3, right? Like you got like 20 ships versus 4, right? So how are we going to keep pumping out ships that like makes that like the parity good?
how are you going to have the ship ratio?
Right,
And
but
they totally solved it.
well, no, but that's what I'm frustrated because I said things like this originally. Like there are other games that have multiple factions. So like War Machine is the perfect example. They have what's the name for them now? But like Convergence is one of the like specialty factions that it's still its own faction. It still has its own casters and its own pieces. But when they released it, they're like, this is a small faction. Like here's your big robots, here's your leaders, and here's your grunt troops, and you only get like 3 of each type, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Like we're not going to release new things for it. We might, but
No.
we're not guaranteeing you are. But because we're going to design it in this way, like each caster is vastly different. Each set of like extra additional crap you can put into them, they don't all just sit there and look the same and play the same. Like they have different play styles within a small model pool, and that's what I think they're going to do well.
Yeah.
And I think they'll have the same idea with the Jedi Order, right? Because like you've already seen it, like the Jedi Starfighter has like a mod that like completely changes it, right? It goes from like Nimble Interceptor to like Brawler with one mod. Like, okay, well, you have 2 ships there, right? It's not 1 ship; you have 2 ships.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's
I like the idea.
similar to how modular the T-70s and the SFs are, right?
To
some degree.
Well, but
it
like
doesn't
maybe
change
amped up a little
it doesn't
more,
change the stats, but it gives
no,
them
it does. No,
versatility.
it changes. No, it changes the stats.
Well, no,
it like lowers
I
their
mean,
agility and like gives them a bunch of hull.
Yeah, but I mean, in comparison, like the Jedi Starfighter, it does change stats. With the SF and the T-70, it doesn't, but you have different mod slot capabilities and the versatility of choosing what you want it to do.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. I'm really excited. That Republic preview that's going to come out whenever it does. We're going to hate Ether Sprites. We're going to hate them so much.
It 100% depends on what Supernatural is priced at.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yes.
Up,
baby. But,
Man, it's almost like they have a system open before that happens. It's going to be weird. I don't know what everyone's going to be flying.
Who knew?
I keep hearing that the only thing we're going to see is Whisper Redline Soontir everywhere. I guess, guys.
You're
I guess.
not.
Oh, you will. I promise you will. Like it's still going to be like.
But it's like every tournament that we always talk about because we have to talk about something, and it always ends up, a bunch of them make the cut, but they don't win the tournament. It's gonna be that.
Well, it's similar thought process to at Worlds. The most common list was Miranda, Lorik, and Ezra in 1.0. It didn't win the overall as the one player, but as a list taken in with high success, it won Worlds as a list.
Well, it was the most, but it wasn't the highest percentage in the cut though.
I don't remember about percentage on that one.
I don't think so.
But I would view that as
World
the highest.
Actually was a weird catalysm of odd shit.
I would think that that list had the highest percentage in day 2 though.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. That's literally all I played in day 2. I played 3 of them.
I played 3 of them as well.
Okay. Before you guys get me sidetracked even more.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little Outrider. Just a little bit. Just a little snapshot. We had you guys in Tippetts. Did you not make Outrider?
We had a foot of snow dropped on us. Here. It's still here. I'm not exaggerating. I had a foot of snow dropped on me. We were going to go watch, but I was also supposed to be in Vegas that weekend, and had I not hurt my knee, I would have been in Vegas.
So the one person who was there, first of all, Ryan. I want to know, how awesome is it that you have a meme developing out there in the X-Wing world? Because I'm sorry, I am definitely pulling out the paper plate tokens.
I mean, sure. It was the first time I played against Trip Upsilon. I was like, well, of course it's Tyler, because me and Tyler. There's a little bit of history with me and Tyler Shaw. In first edition, in the regional season, I was paired up with him in times of which if he didn't win, he was knocked out, and I knocked him out all the time. So when I faced him against the first time I played against Trip Upsilon, he wanted to have a little more fun with that, because I looked at the matchup. I had 3 ships, 3 TFOs that were named, but that two attack dice. So, oh boy, I'm going to tickle you all day. And I had Tavson for as long as I had him, because that was his first target. So I made it a solid game, actually. Like, I had a win condition at the end, but he still had 2 ships on the board, and even just 1 4-dice shot is scary, of course. So, yeah, in the beginning, he threw down all the plates. He had fun. I was just like, fuck you.
Oh, so that was just like a for fun thing. Or did he legit use
he
those
wanted
the whole
a picture,
game?
And so his thing was like, I want a picture of you being sad about facing this. And I was like, there you go.
Yeah, that stuff gets put on T-shirts.
Did he use the tokens the whole game?
Huh?
Did he use those tokens the whole game, or was it just kind of like a...
Oh, no, he kept using them. And I kept, like, moving them when I want to do things and, like, pushing them off the board.
And you only get the obnoxious number of them in the opening round.
Yeah, you get the obnoxious number where, like, when Midnight wants to do a 5 straight in the beginning after everything else is moved, like, you have to move one of those away.
I pissed myself laughing so hard that I saw paper plates with fucking tokens.
Yo.
Oh, they were great. But anyway, overall general feelings of Outrider. I mean, I got the sob story from Stay on Target, but man, that was a tough episode.
So
Jesus.
It was her first experience. It was a great event to go to. I highly recommend anyone who get a team, go. First time experience, first time learning the pair. I mean, it was a new pairing system, or at least set up this year, because it wasn't 100% bid based. So teams who were down early, us, had a chance to get good pairings later. We had the first 2 rounds, we had 1 win total, like 1 win one round, 1 win the other round. And then our 3rd round, we got 3 wins that gave us like 3 or 4 wins that gave us 7 total points, because I beat someone who had a double skin and they got paired against me. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty happy about that. So I'm like, I'm kind of 3-3 right now, or 3-2, because I've got that many points, but only 1 win. But we ended up 2nd to last overall, tied, like 3-way tie, Fort Wayne, us, and Chicago. And we were part of the problem who gave the a lot of points to Indy to win it.
Oh. So who got last?
Fort Wayne. They got the cake. There's the cake. So
fucking wrecked, Chico.
Since you weren't. Oh, they didn't care.
And Luke.
They were in it for the last place prizes, because the last place prizes were 1, a starter set for like D&D Attack Wing.
Oh, I saw that.
And then the second was a cake that said, "At least you tried."
Oh, Luke likes his cake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's too rich. I love it. Oh, that's funny.
It was overall pretty chaotic in the pairing system, but I mean, there's a little bit of fine tuning to do. And holy crap, apparently there was way more skins this year than there were in previous years, because the half points rule. I think they're taking in all the data and doing the math to see if they can find a better skin. Must win by X amount of points or move points over to next game for the skin.
See, that was one of those instances where Fleming was. We had the last episode. I think it was the last episode. I don't know. Where they were describing it, I was like, they're just doubling it. 24, that's the skin. And I went, yeah. In my head, I'm going, but there's half points.
Yeah.
And this was one of the very few times that I didn't voice my opinion, going, that might be a problem, guys.
Yeah, I mean, if I
was stuck to my instinct, this whole thing could have been way different. I could have swung Outrider.
Potentially. I don't know if he'll listen to you.
But I know nobody fucking listens to me. Unless they're forced to, like tonight.
Hey, we have literally dozens of people that are choosing to listen to you right now.
Yeah, at least just over 2 dozen.
I don't know what the over-under is tonight, but we're at 28, I believe. I don't know. Did we even see the over-under tonight? Fucking Captain. Jesus Christ.
No, I
get on
haven't
this
seen a
shit.
thing on it.
I haven't seen anything about anything.
Fired. You're
Ledford's
fucking
back
fired.
in here. Ledford's back in here.
But what if we had two accents so far?
Yeah, before Coach got in, we had French ones.
Yeah, but the over-under is coach accents.
Correct.
So I will say that I helped my favorite OCX podcaster create his list for Outrider, which was Luke. And because he went, I got stuck with Empire. What do I fly? I can't fly. I can't use Soontir, Whisper, or Redline. And I went, oh, okay. Like you're giving it to me a hard mode. All right. And so he flew a Sloan Swarm with Kagi, 2 Squints, and then 2 Sentinels with seismic charges.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah.
And went like 2-0 easily. And for some reason, 2 different teams put their resistance PO list into a Sloan Swarm. And I was like, okay. And he was like, they picked me. I don't understand.
See, that was one of the lists we wanted to put our double skin against because we had a Drea Chemo Gila Swarm, like 3 chemos, Drea, and Escapecraft, and we're like, if one of them gets stressed, not a big deal.
Sure.
But no, someone else paired against it, and I guess they chose wrong, like you said.
Yeah, right. Like, okay. But yeah.
Johannes is coming in strong.
Okay, so my understanding is Indy won it.
Correct.
And you have to win it 2 years in order to be able to say it's going to be an Indy again, right?
Oh no, you just
have to be involved 2 years.
Correct, to be applicable to host.
So is it safe to say that it may be an Indy next year?
No. They like to change it every year. It sounds like the top candidates are Chicago, Columbus, and Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'm going to voice my opinion and go Chicago because there might be an OCX team next year.
Speaking of OCX team, the Crate Cup registration just happened, and we have an OCX team together.
Do you? Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
It's officially the OCX Gun Runners. Myself.
I don't want to get myself worked up. I'm not getting myself worked up right now.
Breathe deep.
I can't cry again on
do you not want to hear the? Do you not want to hear the other people?
Oh no, I do. I want to hear it all.
So it's myself.
Hold on. Let me get my. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, myself, Tommy Adams, Sarah Tessum, and Josh Dunn.
Oh, get fucked, Crates.
I mean, you have to get over the Scum and Villainy team that's going to be there. The returning runner-ups, which got the better trophy. So, like, we did what we came to do.
It'll be fine.
Wasn't that the what is it?
The John Grasser Memorial Bridesmaids Trophy. Yes,
that is the best trophy.
So, a little bit of side note on that. Chris picked me up from the airport the day before. And like we went to go get lunch, like he grabbed me on his lunch break, and we had to go pick up all of the trophies from the trophy place. And if anybody doesn't know, they let you put anything you want on a trophy, and it's absurdly cheap, and they should not let us do that. So that's a slight aside. But we're picking them all up, and like the ladies there like looking at them with us as like we're making sure everything's good, and then we pull out the John Grasser Memorial Bridesmaids, and she was like, "Did he die?" And we're like, "Nope. He always comes in second at events, so we're making fun of him." And she's like, "That's so mean." And we're like, "No, he won a regional since then. It's fine." And we're like, "Oh, so he won one, and then you decided to make one." And Chris just kind of looks at me and he was like, "Yes, that's the answer I'm going to go with." He totally didn't win one a month after I had this ordered.
One little slight little criticism on the name. Why are you not the OCX Beer Runners?
I don't know.
BEERRUN. I mean,
Beer Run.
I'm sure
we could probably ask Chris.
Yeah,
we could probably ask Chris to change it. I just went with Gun Runners because it's like it was snappy, it came to mind, and like a Jakku Gun Runner, we go in and fuck shit up.
I like it. I like it. Don't change it. You're good.
So now, Coach, if you make it, you can do the same thing like we're doing with Ricky. like he wasn't good enough to make the actual team, but they have a 5th member team slot that you can take, which is your alternate. And then there's a whole different alternate tournament that's going on where you get like cool prizes just for hanging out. And then you actually can like tag into your team at any time. So if like
when is this happening?
March 3rd and 4th.
Ooh, that's really soon.
Sure is.
Fuck it. We got Patreon money for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Second, is it
Yeah,
second,
they already have an
third,
alternate.
second, third.
Second, third, sure, yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I'll try. We'll go to the boss. We'll see how this works out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Y'all have people you have to answer to.
I'm already going to Adepticon, so
Yeah?
that's
Nice.
at the end of March. So
It is.
Oh man, Sir George made a good point. A quad jumper does kind of look like a bunch of kegs tied together.
right.
That's,
Yes, it does.
Sounds like we need an alternate like model.
there you go.
That's just a bunch
Luke
of
Carrington, get on that.
Get on
Yeah.
that, Luke.
the beer keg gun runner.
While we have you.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh,
I'm waiting for him to respond in chat. We have like the 10-second delay. It's
I
fine.
know it's gonna be great.
As everyone just like looks up.
So we're gonna so Outrider, good, bad. That was, I mean,
I said overall good event. Detroit could have done better. But the big credit to our MVP, Marcos Leggett. His worst game was skinning one game. He won all his others.
wow.
Mikhail Jenkins found out that RC2 A-Wings don't like Seven Sister Crew.
I bet not. No.
No, they like to turn their arc and boost as a linked action stress. And then they don't like getting tractor beamed or jammed.
No, they do not. Oh my god, that's terrible. No, I'm super freaking happy that it now. Okay, this is your first time, so you really don't have any relevance on it. But the absence of the epic, I'm hearing that it was better.
I mean, some people. It sounded like some people liked not like. I think someone on Stay on Target, one of them mentioned they're like, yeah, I kind of liked it without Epic this year, and I think it was Mikhail because he only had
yeah,
one or two years prior.
We'll throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
It was Mikhail.
Some of those guys are diehard Epic guys. I wouldn't mind trying it. I haven't really played that much Epic at all in any organized manner.
No,
So-
Epic's a ton of fun. Like
Epic is a lot of fun.
Like some of my favorites, like World/Gen Con moments are just playing nonsense Epic games with Will, like Team Epic, where we did one where we had each of us had 5 Y-wings with Tidal and Auto Blaster turret. So like Tidal those fuckers forward, like something's gonna be in front of you and get shot, and then 6 heavy laser, and then 3 heavy laser B-wings. So we had 10 Y-wings, 6 B-wings. It was just like,
Jeez.
bring it. I don't believe you could kill them all before we get close enough to really mess. And you start at range 2, not range 1, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm going that way and I'm going fast.
Guess who supplied the Y-wings?
It's not wrong.
I would be the most excited to play Epic as the Separatists and just so many Vulture droids everywhere.
What do you mean
Or
8, right? Or 12. You mean 12.
You only get 12.
Well, you can get 16 in team because you can both bring 8. But
Okay,
Oh, I
Vulture
didn't know
droids, tri droids for those. I'm the most
Yeah.
excited for droid
The
tri fighters
Tri-Wings?
for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. Oh no,
I-
they reined Epic back in because there was some straight nonsense you could do. Because I mean, like you could put 16 TLT Y-wings on the table, right? Like
Yeah,
bit of a
big
you
problem.
deal.
can. Does anybody want to have to play with that? Like, oh, can you just roll your bucket of red dice and divide it up into 3s? So they put some heavy restrictions at the end of 1.0 on it.
Okay.
So we'll see what they end up doing.
So, real quick, I mean, real quick with Tyler is not real quick, but we all understand that. I want to go over, and Tyler, by all means, go ape shit on this one. The 3 Upsilons, man.
So
So Chico just says, come to Outrider. They said it'll be fun. And he snapped a picture, and it was 6 Upsilons just rammed into each
hilarious.
other.
So there's a lot of different versions of it, but it's with triple, it's all basically using dormants plus 2 others. By the way, chat and everyone else, the correct answer is 2 Star Killer base pilots. When you put Tabson in there, it screws with your initiative moving later in the game and is just generally bad. Tabson's an amazing ups pilot. Like if you are taking 1, you take Tabson. If you're trying 3, you need Star Killer, so they're all 2s.
I will concur. Tavison is like a Christmas present every round.
Yeah,
it is like I want this.
So okay,
I got it.
So have you used him like in a local game with him on the table?
Yes, I'm running Star Killer.
Now, So now I might blow your mind.
Okay.
So, do you understand that damage is dealt in 1 damage increments?
No.
Oh yeah. So you get 2 actions if you take 2 damage. Oh yeah. He's so much better than you thought he was. Damage is not like you take 2 damage. It's you take damage. You take damage. You take damage. Yep.
Also,
Merry Christmas.
Damage is not just from attacks, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Drive that sucker over a rock.
If you have Pattern Analyzer and 3 turn over a rock, action, damage, action. So you're on the rock and not shooting. You may as well reinforce.
Time the fuck out. This is a revelation, ladies.
Wait, no, that's.
Yeah.
Wait, do you get the Pattern Analyzer action if you go over a rock?
Yeah, it's before you check stress because it's not part. It's not part of your action step.
Yeah, it's because it's not your actual action. Interesting. Okay, I like that. That's dirtier.
Yep.
That's
so.
I mean, you'd have to come up with like 8 points for a Pattern Analyzer on there, but still, yeah, I'm in.
I mean, I've been running tabs in as it sounded like in a couple of lists that either deals with 3 FOs or 2 FOs and an SF, and I always stick Muse next to him, which is ridiculously dirty that I can just decide to 0 stop him for forever. 4 to 5 turns in a row, and with Phasma say you can't ever get behind me anyway.
Yep.
So
going back to the triple variants.
I want to go back to the Christmas present.
Yeah.
I mean, wait a minute.
You're welcome.
Holy shit.
Nope.
Whenever you take it's whenever you take damage.
Sure is. No. It's when you
suffer 1 damage.
Yeah, it's when you suffer 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
This is why I've made the bold proclamation that Tabson will be the most popular pilot in the First Order by the time of the 2nd set of trials.
Fuck, it should be.
So now for the really dumb shit that you can do with that, if you're playing an extended, which is the only thing you need to be so that you can get biohexa bullshit codes. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So now you take 2 damage. I target lock you at range 3 and jam you.
Mm-hmm.
Or I target lock my own guy and coordinate because I know he's at range 3.
Oh, no, hold on. I hate to be the Crumpus, but Lieutenant Tavison says after you suffer damage, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action.
Right. No, but you suffer damage in 1 damage increments. That's the same way with, like, if you take 2 critical hits.
They're going to FAQ the fuck out of that.
I mean, they are welcome to do so, but right now.
That would have caused an argument in our game. They already didn't like that I was getting a free target lock at range 1. Yeah, 2. I mean, yes. Okay, thank you, Chris. It's limited to 2 charges, but still.
Yes.
Fuck.
Correct. But like, how often were you running out of charges? Right, like that's
never.
It doesn't generally happen.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. You move, you coordinate, you get shot at. Charge 1. Okay. All right. Yeah. Maybe it's not going to get FAQ'd because they put 2 charges on it.
Yeah. So there's that. There's that part.
Damn it.
Have fun.
Oh.
And they reoccur. Yeah, they're reoccurring charges. Oh yeah. Sure are. But anyway, so back to triple. Like, so, all right. When I say that you need to not take Tabson, like, understand that he's that good. But when you have 3 ships that only have a primary front firing arc and only a 2 white turn, you are way more concerned with replacing where your ship is at, right? So I've got 1 Star Killer here, 1 Star Killer here. I know this guy can get out, so this one can actually get his turnaround, right? Like, as soon as Tabson's that 3 that's on the inside and you want to turn and bump into him, like, it's your ability to keep guns on target goes way down, which is their downfall, right? Like, they don't turn well, they can't K-turn, so that, like, you have to play you can't play to their strength of having cool pilots. You have to play to your weakness of I need this to be able to get actions in turn. And actions on the other side is like they have a big gun, sure, but you don't want to like bank on just rolling hot, right? You want a good shot. So you like my current version is Dormants and 2 Star Killers, all with Hyperwave, and then Dormants and one of the Star Killers has advanced sensors, and then the Star Killer that is leading the charge in has Phasma.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
see, I was thinking that in setup, I could use tabs, and as long as I have the other Star Killer on the inside, right? So if I am turning in,
Yeah.
and that lead Star Killer has Phasma, I could just have Tabson doesn't need to do reds then. He just actually purposely bumps into the 2, and if they shoot at him, he gets his action anyway.
Yeah.
And the other one locks him down with Tabson, so they can't get behind him.
Sure. So like with 3, what you end up running into is with Tabson and Phasma, you can't get 3 sets of advanced sensors then. So then like Dormants is kind of either like running into the back of all of them, or the lead guy is just getting bumped, right?
Yeah.
And a good player will just ignore Tabson and not let you get the additional actions, right? So it's like it's all about action efficiency. Like that's the big thing with the list is like you get 3 and you need to get 2 of them every turn. So do what you can to get 2 of them.
Yeah, I guess I go the collision detector route though.
Sure. Well, I mean, I would love collision detector, but I can just not hit rocks and get my actions. So I would rather do that. Like,
yeah, it's more of the guarantee first turn strike is the best I can make it, no matter where they place their rocks anyway. Which in most cases you should be fine, but
well, no, there's a very like appropriate way to place your rocks, so that way the first turn alpha strike shouldn't happen. But at the same token, like you can't guarantee a first turn alpha strike. That's not what Hyperwave Scanner lets you abuse someone that is not good at the game, or it's not necessarily not good at solving the problem. But they're like, no matter where they play or where you place your guys, I can deploy any ship in a way that you can't shoot me on turn 1, right? Like so, but what that ends up doing is that gives you position, and like that's what the Hyperwave is there for, because you want to corral and take as many turns off, like you're taking time off the clock, right? Like you hit harder, you're harder to get to half points and kill than anything else in the game. So, and you have a 12 dice final salvo. Like if they run for you all game, fine, I still win, right?
Yeah.
Like they have to engage you, and if they take 5 turns to get that engaged, that's just gravy for you.
So would you think that if it becomes a stronger meta piece that like you had said before in previous conversation, that it's a very solid 4 and 2 style list, right?
Yeah, if you are a very good with it, I think it's easily 4 and 2 for most games.
So if it's predominant enough to get people 4 and 2, and depending on how much people can win, depending on how much people can win by, are people going to tech enough against it to say either A, they're going to have ships that help deal with getting out of those arcs, or have maneuvers in the early game to not be jumped?
Yeah.
Again, there are different ways to deal with it, but this might be the general public's mind on how to deal, or have somewhat of a bid with an I6, so you are that ace like Poe is safer in the beginning of the game.
Well, so like that's one of the big things is like Poe is like your boogeyman, because like Black 1 Poe, like he can get on your flank very quickly, and your large base, so he can keep his foils closed the whole game and still get his 4 dice against you and get in close. You know what I mean? Pretty frequently. So you don't want to see Poe. Like Poe is not good. But you can handle Poe if it's only a 3-ship list. It's those 4-ship Poe lists. Because those A-wings, like the dude that stresses to gain an attack die, like he'll actually put hurt on you, right? Like he's gonna eventually wear you down, versus just like a generic A-wing. But like when it's 2 A-wings chipping away at you every turn, and the big reason that it's so strong is the fact that like all 4 of those ships have double reposition, right? So as soon as you get into 4 ships that can move and barrel roll and boost, that gets way harder to track, and it doesn't take them nearly as long to make the corner on you. So that's going to be one of those things that you just don't really want to see with it. It's not that you can't win; it's just a really tough game. And then, like, good luck against Kylo.
Yeah, just if that Kylo got an arc, just shouldn't be playing Kylo.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it works. Like there are ways to overlap your firing arcs where Kylo has to run, but yeah, you shouldn't be getting shot.
Yeah. So what things do you think this oppresses to the point where it's not taken?
It's really good against 3-ship lists, and even things like Boba Fett 3-ship lists. Like
Boba
Fett
doesn't like 4
he doesn't
dice.
want to. Well, Boba doesn't like an engage where they have reinforced 2 evade tokens and a focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he can take 4 dice if he takes a good trade, but that's not a trade he wants.
Right. So Boba doesn't really like it, but like at the same token, and this is also 100%. This is only a hyperspace list. Don't run this in extended. You're gonna get wrecked. It's real bad.
There are enough aces to get behind you.
Yeah. There's so many things that are just gonna make like Whisper's just gonna laugh at you. So like that's a caveat of the list. But Boba is probably running with Fen in a lot of extended lists, and Fen has the dice to just punch you in the face over and over
and
again.
it will punch you in
so
the
hard.
Upsilons don't like to see all their shields go in one shot.
Yeah. So but that's typically a 3-ship list. They don't have, if you have Boba and Fen, like it's just an escape craft, right? So it's really not even a 3-ship list, and they do really good at punishing that. So
now, does the higher than 3-ship list require 3 dice primaries though? Because of the reinforce of the.
I mean, generally, yeah. You like if you're a 3, yes, you need. It's going to punish things that it's going to punish 3-ship lists anyway, but it's going to punish even harder like the 2-ship plus support list. So like Boba Fett plus like attack shuttle, that kind of thing. Like that's just gonna you don't have time to do the damage.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's It and that reinforce. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's so good.
Reinforce is so good.
It's so good.
So it's a solve the puzzle list by your opponent. The burden is on them to figure it out. If they don't figure out, they're just going to lose. By time
you'll probably win if you can't figure out how to beat them. I mean, the ultimate goal is just to get behind them. If you get behind them, it's game over. But
But if played correctly, Dormits should just be lagging behind them enough to coordinate at the same time, but also covering their rear. So
that's right. You can't get past because Dormits is just there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it can't be a joust thing get behind. It's a wide flank.
Yep.
And if you really have, I mean, they have the white 2-turn.
Yeah.
And if you really need to, they have the 1 hard turn red.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have advanced sensors for a reason.
So that's one of the big things that like. For anybody that's going to go try this, you have the 1 hard turn. The 1 hard turn should only be used when you're having to like stay on the board. So like you make a 3 bank and then it takes you really close to a board, so then you can 1 hard to stay on. And the reason isn't because it's red; it's the fact that the next turn your 1 banks aren't blue, your 2 banks are blue.
You have shit for blue.
Yeah, and so like you can't advance sensor that turn. You can't and it typically will if you're making that red move, it's going to stall you, or it's going to take your actions away for multiple turns. And that is very much a list where you need your actions.
God, it hurts so much.
It
really does.
You're playing the long game, playing the attrition game. You be safe, take the 2-turn, take the reinforce in the arc that you think is going to be at best.
Yeah. Well, and it's also because it's like the ship that is stressed will generally be that one it's trying to make that tight turn so that it can then go faster in, right? Like, so that's your lead ship, but now you can't coordinate to him because he's stressed, right? Like, or he has to blue move and take the bump and then get the coordinate passed to him, so then he finally gets, because there's nothing worse than like, oh, I got my 5 dice shot, I got him, but like, man, I didn't have actions, and it's all blank focuses. You get like 1, right? And you're just like, cool, all right. Versus like, if you position that a little bit better, oh, that's a 5 dice target lock focus shot, well, now you're dead. Like, just thanks for playing, you shouldn't have been there.
And we'll give a shout out to the chat who pointed out a great point of the triple Upsilon list. Mr. Mad Medic himself, welcome back, buddy. Missed you. It is, if you have time left, or if they're just time killers.
Yeah, they are.
You sink so much time into killing one that they're so hard to get to half. 6 hull, 6 shields is a beast.
Well, and it's 6 shield too, right? Like to half it's 6 shields. Like, oh, my proton torpedo, cool, I'll take 2. I'll take 3.
Yeah,
And they have an agility. Like the number of times I'm reinforced and then I roll the evade, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Take 1. No.
And they shoot a fully modded proton torpedo.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, 2 shields.
Nope.
If only the decimator was 6 hull, 6 shields.
Well, but it's that agi, right? It's having the one.
Yeah,
agi. Like
yeah. The agility. I mean, fuck. The agility is ridiculous. Why do they have an agility?
Well, the agility is even more ridiculous if you decide to actually be in the fight turn 1 against them, because they just have 2 evades and a focus and a target lock. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Do.
So
so the decimator is like, that's one of the ships that's going to go down on points. Hopefully,
it has
like
to.
if you look at the comparison, right? Like, it's like a stock Starkiller's 56 points. A decimator is 80
points.
Like, you're telling me that's 24 more points better?
Yeah.
Like, to have a Motai arc.
You shouldn't have played it so much.
Yeah, well, sure. That's
the double Ds are coming out. I guarantee you after January 28th.
so
by a few months from now, are we talking about the Upsilons as they're fine the way they are, people can play them, there's counters, or is there a discussion as to maybe they need to be a little more expensive? Tabson probably alone.
Tabson could probably go up. So one of the things that'll get interesting,
probably January 28th, Tabson is going to go up.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll touch first order. I don't think they'll touch first order or resistance points.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Bold statement.
No. So one of the interesting things we get into though is like one of the detriments to running 3 large base ships is you make it really easy to get bullseye arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah, you do.
And like one of the hallmark features of the Separatists are they have a lot of bullseye arc mechanics.
Yeah, they do.
One of the hallmarks of 2.0.
Well, no, but I mean, Separatists
general.
alone. Like, look at the Vulture droids. Like, I can set a Vulture droid swarm out there that has built-in crack shot and Predator on a ship without having an EPT on it, right? And it's it's trivial to get one of those Upsilons in arc. So right? So it's just like, okay, well, I just smash through all your crack shot doesn't help you against reinforce, but even still, like, you can put lots of dice on target and get all your rerolls and all that kind of stuff easily out of a cheap ship. In theory, it should be real cheap.
And maybe that's one of those cheeky things that FFG's like, just wait till you guys see what comes down the pipeline.
Yeah,
and like, run your 3 Upsilons. Go ahead.
right. And and if you have 8 ships that can that don't need to really be in formation, right? Like, because it's not like they're getting they want to have a couple people range 1, but they don't need to all be range 1 of one person.
Yeah, either in pairs or in triples.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
And they need to be range 3 of whatever Bulbasaur they're sitting next to with the AI for them, right? Like, okay, that's for everybody that's run Sloan. That's shockingly trivial to set that up. So it's very easy to get 2 of them behind the herd, right? And so now, like, they're getting free shots into a non-reinforced.
Oh god, it would be so easy to get at least 3 of those behind the Upsilon. It wouldn't even be a challenge.
Yeah, and we haven't even gone over because we haven't seen a new article for him yet. But the Jedi Starfighter's innate ability is you spend a force to do what if you fully execute a maneuver, you spend a force and can do a booster barrel roll. Like, they have innate repositioning.
Yeah.
So there may be things coming down the line, like Tyler mentioned, that just won't allow the trip Upsilons to thrive. I mean, they can exist, they may not thrive.
But I like that. I like the fact that they can be there.
Yep.
Like, someone shows up, is like, I got 3 Upsilons. You're like, shit.
Yeah.
I probably
you're
wrong
like, God damn it. We're gonna move on to Uncle Mark or Papa Mark. In this instance, for this episode only. Get your Photoshop and fancy dancy.
I don't have any of my no soliciting signs.
Your stencil stuff out of here, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Uncle Mark's Get Off My Playmat.
Hey, hi. This is my off night, but I'm here because Tyler's here, and
wait a minute. Time out. This is not your off night.
Well, me every 2 weeks.
You have an off night? I didn't know about this.
That's what we agreed to over a year ago. But anyway, I know we're shorthanded.
Feels like I'm missing out on some paid vacation or something.
No, you don't get parole
No,
for
you're
a year,
fucking new. You get nothing.
and you'll like it. I was looking forward to Outrider Cup. I was hoping to have lots of great stories and people I'd gotten to talk to and people that I'd gotten to irritate, but that didn't happen. I was sad, but yeah, it was ridiculous. Tyler said he scooped a foot of snow out. I had two guys on 4-wheelers with blades come do mine.
No. I didn't scoop a foot of snow out. I scooped like 4,000 cubic feet of snow out. Like,
and you're still at 234 pounds? Come on.
24.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. It was 34 before this weekend. Now it's 24.
The camera adds 10 pounds.
Yeah, right.
And remember, you now have a history of heart disease in your family.
That's not hereditary. It's fine.
So I don't have anything to rant about other than snow. And apparently we're going to get 10 more inches this weekend.
Yeah.
Yay.
And ice tonight.
Yeah. Everything's good. Everything's great here in central Illinois.
No, well, I mean, yes. We didn't make it over for a reason. Like, there was a lot of wrecks and a lot of bad stuff in the area, so it was smarter to stay off the roads.
Well, that sucks because I really wanted to see what was it was Peoria? Was that the team name?
Oh, we didn't
No.
get
You didn't even sign
together.
up. You were just like,
I mean, we were trying to. I think I'd mentioned it to Tyler, and
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a team quick enough. We kind of could slap a team together between Bloomington and Peoria.
Well, and they capped the event, so it was kind of
Yeah.
like we found out like 3 weeks out when I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to Vegas anymore that they were full. So
And
shit.
but yeah, we would have sure liked to have come over and.
Well, I'm
Tyler
sure they would have loved to see you, Mark.
Tyler-
I mean,
Tyler would have done well. I would have done poorly, so we would have balanced out, the karma. And
no, fuck that.
Tyler
nobody
goes
wants
5-0,
that Y-wing
Earls and I go
list.
0-5. We keep everything balanced, and so. But
I tell you what, I guarantee you, nobody wanted to see a 4 Y-wing list ion cannon or whatever the hell you're running these days.
I could bring
5.
I can bring 5
You can bring
ion cannons. Yeah, it's 200 points. 5 of them with ion, each one of them with an ion cannon. And I've looked at it, but I'm wanting to fly X-wings, and apparently these A-wings are a good thing.
Yeah, man.
Wait till January 28th. I guarantee you the Rebel A-Wings are going to be really good.
So, like, my big thing, though, is, like, man, the Resistance A-Wings. Like, their uptime for shots is so good. Having that rear arc, like, oh, man. Like, that's some next-level stuff there.
It's a true flyby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
And you can chuck torpedoes or missiles out the back end. And you're
No, that's
That's
not with A-Wings.
that's-
Not with A-Wings.
There is a A-Wing that can do it. Like,
Oh, there's an owl.
Is there an A-wing that can do that? I know there's a fire spray that can do that.
I don't think the A-Wings can. The TIE SFs can. Cool.
let's see here.
The TIE SF quick draw can.
Yeah. No A-wing can do.
no.
back.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. You were talking about no. Okay, sidestep here. If we ever get a good missile in the game, SFs are going to be scary as shit
Yeah,
because they are dirt cheap. Because you don't need the gunner on them; they're 34 points.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a 43-point proton torpedo carrier that can also shoot it out the butt. Like, yeah, okay, cool, sign me up. I want all of them.
Done.
You know,
I
like,
want
that's
2 of
nonsense.
I want 2 of those, please. I
Yeah.
want what she's
4?
having.
I want 4 of them.
So
Like,
our Kylo list at Outrider was Kylo and 2 SFs with concussion missile.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had a bad day,
going for full fluff.
but well, I guess, yeah, why not? But I felt like those SFs for their point value could easily make up for Tavs if it was like it was either Tavs and Kylo or it was Kylo and 2 SFs. And we went try it out with Kylo 2 SFs.
It sounds like I'm very happy that you guys tried new things, because you guys seem like you didn't toe the road on the.
Oh yeah, we had like Nico had one of the jankiest scum squads you'd see the whole day, but he wrecked. Well, we matched him both times against Quad Juke Phantoms because he had Fen, Paylob, Genesis Red with a proton torpedo, and L3. So if he was threatened, he would friendly lock Paylob and get the token stack Paylob has, because he has debris gambit as well on Paylob. Or if the ships he was targeting with proton torpedo already moved anyway, which with Quad Juke Phantoms already have a focus of aid, just lock that.
Huh.
And then steal that token, and then kill that Phantom, and then Fen will kill another Phantom.
That's quite cheeky of you.
Not me. That was him. That's all his squad. I didn't make it.
Quite cheeky of you, Governor. There you
There's
go.
one.
We don't even have an opener. Fuck off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to tie a bow on this first half. Man, did that go fast. Almost as fast as Tyler talks. Not quite that fast, though.
Man, over New Year's Eve, I met a girl from Russia that was in the same group of people or whatnot. She was like, she asked me to slow down. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I talked too fast. She's like, no, it's just your accent. I was like, is it though?
Oh boy. All right, we're gonna take this off to commercial. Montana, take it away. Okay, now that we're in commercial break, Mark,
Yeah,
I gotta piss.
Should we
do a decent
commercial?
Yeah, timestamp commercial.
I got it. 10:06.
Okay. Did we I'm hearing these things. I thought your commercial was just fine, but for Millennium Condor, but apparently people are
he asked me to send him a 25-second commercial, so I made one.
And I thought it was fine. Are they asking for a better one?
No one's contacted me about a better one.
Because, I mean, literally, okay. I mean, do they literally just want to say, hey, this is Coach from OCX Radio. Please listen to us on Wednesdays at 8:30 Central, or download our podcast because he's super cool and super fun.
That was
and
pretty.
yeah.
I didn't say this is Coach, but
Pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah. And then I sent the air horn follow-up so it could be blended in.
I don't know what they want from us, Mark. I don't know what I mean. We give, we give, and we give.
Well, I also sent a really cheeky French accent promotion for Millennium Condor, using Marcel Marceau and
nice,
the mimist, and at one point I'm going in the middle of it. I stop and I'm going right. And there's about 5 seconds of his Sacre Bleu is miming over there. You idiot. So I don't know. That may have gotten trashed, but I have it. I kept the recording.
No, you put it on the messenger thing. I listened to it. It was fine.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just fine. Sad ass freaking get off my playmat, Mark. Come on.
Dude, I was at the doctor today and having things. No, that's okay.
Getting checked
Everything's
out?
fine. Everything's fine.
Did you get the camera?
I'm fine. Everything's good.
Are you saying you're a perfect asshole?
No, that was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
All the old man stuff is up to date now.
Boy,
I'm only 4 years away from that, and man, is my wife she's got it marked on a calendar. What the fuck, dear?
I was able to push it out to 61. But,
oh shit!
But
what are we talking about?
Colostomies.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no,
Colonoscopy.
colonoscopy, not
God.
coloscopy. Very different.
No.
Very different. I hope none of you have had to have that.
There's bags and cleaning and stuff like that. No.
Wait, so what's wrong with the colonoscopy?
Nothing.
Just a little butt play. Just ask him to like, use the pinky first. Like, whatever.
Your father is a perfect asshole.
Well, sure. We didn't need a colonoscopy to tell that.
No, we're just saying my wife's got it marked on the calendar.
I mean,
4 years from now.
Is she trying to tell you something?
Well, they
experiment with pegging? What?
They say you're supposed to get your first one at 40. Sure. And I'm like, I'm only 36, dear. Fuck off. I don't need to be.
Like I said, you might, like, there's a great website that you can fill out, like, all your kinks, and then she fills out all hers, and only the ones that match show up.
Oh.
So, like, I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, man, I don't think I want to go on to that.
I don't think I want to hear about this.
What? It's 2018, guys. Come on now.
It's
2018. It's 2019.
2019, yeah, yes, making my argument for me. 2019.
Jesus. Somebody put a thing on there like, hey, can I fax this to you? And they're like, no. They're like, why not? And I'm like, because I'm in 2018 or something like that. I'm like,
and yet solidly we still
half my business still revolves around faxes. So
what the hell? People are putting 2 up.
It's the fucking.
They'll do whatever they want.
The thing in the club month, Mark. That's what they do.
Yeah. Tyler,
they just like to tear me down.
Yeah.
Would you devolve what you? Because I'm not going to Phoenix, and I don't know how many people in here are going to Phoenix. What you plan on taking?
Oh yeah. So it's it's until I'm taking it depending on what Ian rules. So
okay.
First Order has access to doing nonsense in the end phase that nobody else does. The first being Quick Draw can baffle in the end phase.
Yep.
Right? And take a damage and then use a shoot, right?
Correct.
But the end phase isn't defined. The end phase is you clean up your green tokens, but do you do that by player? Because all the other phases are by player. So if I'm second player, do you clean your tokens up? Then I baffle my target lock that I've target locked onto myself.
Do you do all of end phase in like initiative step, meaning the lower ones would go first?
No. It's for sure not initiative step. It would be player step, just like the start of combat, right? So if I'm player 2 and you're player 1 and I have a juke quick draw at range 1 of you, do you clean your tokens up so you no longer have focus to mod your green dice, and then I baffle off something and then juke shot you with my target lock focus or target lock evade, right?
You know what? Aaron Bonner is probably screaming at the fucking screen right now.
We should be. So that's number 1. The lesser of the 2 evils is Tabson can do the same thing with baffle. Mm-hmm. So if Tabson in the end phase I clear my tokens. Because normally in any phase, if I have things that all trigger at the same time, I get to order them.
Yeah.
Right. So I clear my greens, then I baffle off a red, then I take a focus action. My greens have been cleared, so now I take a focus action. Now I reoccur my charges. So I go into the next phase with a focus token, not even the focus action, so I could reaction it if I wanted to, but I also get the Tabson charge back.
I get it.
Right?
Okay. I was like, why does it matter about him at the end? It's because if it's after the clear step, you get to keep it.
Right. So it's one of these things where it's like we don't have a well enough defined end phase, and because it's not defined, like you can assume that it works how all the other phases work, and if it does, man, can I fuck something.
So when do you need to know this by, I guess?
It should be this week. We should find out. Like I will probably still be running. It's Kylo quick draw and null with squad leader.
Okay.
But it's null with squad leader and then the biohexacodes. It's FCS juke, gunner quick draw, and then baffle if I can use it. And then just supernatural Kylo. So it's got like an 8 point, or it's got like between a 9 and a 6 point bid to get over all the other.
Not
Kylos.
Even the prime thrusters, Kylo.
Yeah, no.
Again, why do people not watch the show? Because this is not making it on the podcast. You only get this by
wait, are other
live.
people seeing? Oh, are there live people getting this?
Yeah, they're live people.
30 people that now know your secret.
Well, fuck me. All right.
Well,
so, yeah.
And they're all going, holy fucking shit, you're not a nice man.
Actually, they said
I
there,
assume
Tyler, you're
I'm
not a nice man.
I mean, the
I-
chance of you getting matched up with the people in chat in Phoenix is
Sure.
very low because I don't know how many people are even going.
Like, I don't think that's gonna be legal. I don't think they're gonna let me do it.
Probably
Oh,
not,
shit.
especially the
Jam,
tabs in
jam
one.
sticks, dude. Jam stays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same idea. Yep. Like,
Fuck 'em, jam them.
yeah.
Well, Yeah, that's right. Jam wouldn't stay from round to round, but if the clear happens before, then technically it would.
right.
Roger.
So, Roger,
You're right,
indeed.
Mariano.
Yep. So like, but it'll still probably be like Kylo quick draw null. It'll just be shift points around.
Yeah, I would assume that I'm going to say if I was TO,
Mhm.
and I this is me without thinking about any potential things other breaking, it
Yep.
would be any ships that have end phase triggers go before the clear token step.
So
But that's without me thinking that could
right.
also
Well, and it's
break
also like,
something.
yeah, sure. And then it's and like, and don't get me wrong, Ian's very good, so he'll come up with a good reasoning why he wants it to be that way. And for like, realistically, a juke quick draw firing isn't gonna, like, I don't need to use the end game. Like, he's gonna get shot,
Yeah.
or they're just not shooting him. At which point, then I might not even baffle, right? Unless it's like a god shot kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
but that's the rough idea.
My first order list I'm playing around with is a Fanatical Quick Draw, a Fanatical Scorch, a base Muse, and then tabs in with Phasma and Pattern Analyzer. I could put Baffle on Quick Draw because I have 2 points left.
Yeah.
But
So that's the
I don't
big thing, is like, everybody that is running a first order list right now has a 1 point bid, a 2 point bid. Nobody has a big bid with it.
No.
So I run 5, 6, 7 in a bid. Like, okay.
Well,
that's not gonna
unless you're Kylo Tabsin, then you run like a 15
sure,
because you can.
'cause, yeah. I mean, I almost would still put Prockets on Kylo. Like, why not, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad, you're supposed to look at your messenger.
Sorry, I'm back. All right. So quick over under. First order at Phoenix.
So I'm guessing that there will be a number of good players running something like I described in that space. Because you like Bun's going to be there, Paul Heaver's going to be there. Paul won't run first order, but Nathan ID's going to be there. I'm going to be there. So I think that's going to be the next iteration of really good list. But I don't. I could be totally wrong, and it's selfless rebels the whole time.
It sounds like Nathan might be on the same wavelength as Kevin Lines in terms of the corn-like Poe with stuff.
Yeah, well, but so this is the thing, is like you can have Poe all you want, and you can go for Super Poe, and this list fucks that list real hard.
Oh yeah, the I7 coordinate.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm playing a different game, and it's stupid.
So do you my guess is you biohexacrypt, target lock on a Kylo, but you follow range 2 with quick draw.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if they turn on Kylo, then I have a get out of jail free coordinate.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen personally.
Roger, indeed.
I've seen way too many. I mean, there's the cheeky people that go swarm tactics null, and I'm just like, but what if you just weren't getting shot? Like, please.
Oh, not swarm tactics. Yeah, squad leader null for 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and so the other trick too is with baffle, you can baffle your own target locks because they're still red tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So Kylo target locks quick draw.
Hold it.
So that way, quick draw has a target lock on him to baffle at any time, regardless of what my opponent does.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna think, like, what's the point of it? Oh, it's because so you're not always stressed. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not always stressed. They might not
Kylo
target
doesn't
lock.
have the proton torpedoes. It's not necessary for him to have a lock.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And so
That's cool.
Kylo target locks quick draw, null target locks Kylo, and then we all go about engaging.
Yep. So I was thinking on separatist movement with the vultures. For a while, I was only looking like, all right, like if you actually use the rock as part of your strategy to like go somewhere, place down, leaving off of it with a 2 straight only kind of sucks. Unless you barrel roll, link into calculate, off the rock, and the next turn when you dial in that hard 2 to go back around it and re-engage, you flip that card back over because you're not range 0 of the rock anymore. So you can now flip the card back to the closed struts.
Interesting. So you're using a squad leader coordinate kind of a deal?
No.
To get the barrel?
No, the barrel is part of their action bar.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
So like turn 2.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So your actual action is a barrel roll.
Yeah, turn 2, get on a rock, and then turn 3 or 4 when you want to get off the rock, or the turn before you want to get off the rock, you barrel roll to a part of the rock that you're not going to be range 0 of them, where you're not touching, so that when you do execute that 2 turn, you're still clearing the stress from your link to coordinate, so you still have coordinate tokens, and you can clear it with that 2 turn blue, because it's only blues are all the straights in 2 turns. So
yeah.
Yeah, the issue with those guys is if they want to turn around in combat, that 2 talent and 1K is pretty
the
short.
1K turn is real weird.
It's cool when it's on a striker and you can ailerons that, but by itself, it's like really weird.
Yep. They'll move in different. Their movement's going to be interesting.
Jesus, for a fucking comic book store that's supposed to be closed, it's awfully busy in here. Okay, just to go over what we're going to talk about in the next half, we're going to mention right off the bat that the Hyperspace trials have been announced, the first season.
Yep. So you all coming to Bloomington on May 4th, like Star Wars Day?
I want to, but Omaha has one.
I plugged that into Google.
Is it the same weekend?
That's same weekend.
Oh, yeah. So I've been trying to go to Omaha. Like, I want to go to Aaron's store.
No, don't. It's not Sparta. Sparta didn't get there until season 2, so you're good. You're good. I'm trying to figure out if we have a say in when we have them, because what I want to do is I want to pair up with Aaron, and I want to do Aaron, you do yours, and then I'll do mine the next weekend. That way, if you guys have like a fucking week off of vacation, you can all just you can hit 2 in a 2.5 hour drive, and it'll be fucking fantastic.
So apparently, when you get awarded them, and it's because the Eternal Games that hasn't had theirs officially put on the list yet, because they were asking the community, they were like, "What weekend seems best?" as like choice A and choice B. So
no, they threw that out the fucking window.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah. As far as I can tell, they didn't, because everyone said 1. Nobody wants theirs after.
Oh, no, like you're already awarded.
No. When
you're already awarded part 1.
Oh,
and part
no,
2.
we didn't even know till today.
But when you get awarded it, I was assumed by the guy who runs the store. He was asking our community, do you want it like what month, what weekend, what day? We're like early May or late April. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll put those in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that here's what I think that happened.
Because they asked for 2 weeks. I know that for sure.
I'm trying to say if I want to have this on the show or not. Nah, fuck it.
Nobody watches anyway. It'll be fine.
Yeah, nobody watches anyway. What I'm assuming has happened is they contacted these guys in December, because they said, "Congratulations, you were awarded a Hyperspace trial. We'll contact you in March. So if you're season 2, they're going to contact you in March and say, when do you want it?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming,
but when they say when do you want it, they'll request 2 time slots. Like,
yeah,
do you want to hear it or there? And that's all you get to pick.
I don't think you get to pick a specific date. I think you're just like, I'll go late or early.
Well, it was from everybody I've talked to, it was basically like, I want like this weekend or that weekend. Was pretty much how it ended up working. Which, talk about get fucked. Indy's Hyperspace trial is on Star Wars Celebration weekend.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yep.
Wait,
and FFG's Hyperspace trial is the same weekend as Adepticon.
Dang. Well, Minnesota got like 4 Hyperspace trials.
Yep.
In season 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biased.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think they got one more, or they got one less or the same amount as the entire state of California.
I know like the DC area got pretty hosed. Like they got like 2, I think, or something like that total.
Now,
Like the whole
I
area.
will say this: there was a very short window. If you were not on the ball, you missed the window. Like
Well,
there was like a 2-week window that you could sign up for this shit. And if you didn't, shame on your Asbany rep, because they should have been on that.
Mm-hmm.
But season 2, we'll probably go after Worlds. I mean, if I can get it before Worlds, that'd be great. But
last chance qualifier.
Yeah, it's a last. I mean, that's basically what OC Games is last chance everything. Like last chance. We always love the stragglers.
Yeah, Tyler, I plugged in the Bloomington address and it said 7 hours, and I was like, whoa.
That sounds about right. Your Detroit area?
A little bit northeast of it, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, we have one at I think Game Cafe in Omaha has theirs on the May 4th. So I don't even know if I'm going to go to that one. We'll see.
And the Bloomington one will not be at the Red Raccoon. It's going to be at some center that they've got a
that's what
they've got a
for.
they've got a tournament going, or a mini con going on, and it'll be taking place out there.
So anyway, we're gonna talk about just the news that Hyperspace trials are out there. If you don't know, go talk to your people. But I want to get into the meat of the episode, which is X-Wing Wave 1 and 2, 1.0 versus, compared to Hyperspace today. So I think everybody knows what we're going to talk about. It's just going to be a free-for-all. I'll lead you guys in and blah, blah, blah. So 3, 2, timestamp coming in.
10:26.
Got it?
10:26.
Nice. God, you're way better than this to me.
So clicky.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the OCX Radio Podcast Show. Hope you all enjoyed whatever the hell commercial Montana put in front of there. I promise we're going to come up with some new ones, guys. I mean, I know I said that every week, but I never put a time frame on it, so just deal with it. Whatever. So anyway, we got some new news, ladies and gentlemen, because we are FFG's #1 outlet source for news. Ryan Farmer podcast on any day other than Mondays. Just letting you know, buddy. Just stop doing it. You could enjoy the fame that we get for all this brand new news that happens on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. But anyway, the Hyperspace trials have been dropped. I'm going to go through this a little bit. First of all, there's a season 1. So that means it is January through May. It is season 1 for the Hyperspace trials. We all know what the Hyperspace trials are. They're basically regionals, only spread out a lot more. If you win it, you win yourself a seat at the World Championships. If you make top 16, you get some sweet dice. You make top 4, you get stuff and anything, whatever. You get prizes. But what we want to discuss is what I want to discuss with my fellow co-hosts and guests tonight. Do we agree or disagree on the way they're doing this? Having a season 1 before, basically cutting in from January to May, then you have a break. And then I think the next one involves September to December. But Worlds is in October.
I don't think they've announced saying the other set is September to blank. I think
no,
I know for
a fact. I know for a fact it is. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
As a store owner, it's September to December.
Then I guess that's really weird.
It's really weird.
I mean, so their World Championship has always kind of floated. It's always been on a random ass time. It's not like a specific, seasonal time kind of a thing.
And so, I guess I don't understand why that is.
It's just because they move it around. Like,
But why is it X-Wing that gets moved around? It's their
Well-
number. It's their number one draw.
Well, I mean, sure. You could make the argument that lots
So
of things have gotten moved.
It went from, I think it's just at the ever expanding amount of games, right? It went from one worlds for literally all of FFG things,
Which was in
to
November.
two
In
worlds,
November.
all of Star Wars, all of everything else.
Right.
And now the rest of the Star Wars stuff just can't keep up with X-Wing, so they're dropping that back a bit and letting X-Wing be its own thing.
I mean, I understand that nobody wants to go to Minneapolis in November. I get that.
Yep.
I understand that. But if you're going to have a season 1 hyperspace trials from January, missed the ball on that, by the way, FFG, to
It's more
May,
like March.
why would you not have the world championships in fucking June?
So that's like, I think they want to get out of. I firmly believe they lost people going because they were like May 4th for Star Wars weekend or whatnot, and it would be a much harder sell to get me to go for a June or July like world championship tournament. Like I already basically skip half of the store championships because it's in the summer months. Like I want to go do fun things in the summer. Like I want to play X-Wing when it's cold and shitty outside. I don't want to play.
I
Like
get that.
if I could be outside like having fun, I would rather be doing that.
Okay. I mean, and I kind of agree on that. November is a hell of a lot easier for me to go to Worlds than
Yeah.
October, but I mean, still, it's easier for me to go to Worlds in October than it is May. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why split the season in two? Because you're going to get. I mean, this
Well,
year
so
you're
the
not.
first thing we don't know about is if the second season can give you an invite to the first Worlds. We might be doing something where like there's supposed to be 2 seasons of trials, and those each
Oh.
feed into like, so it'll be like the back half of the year and then the front half of the next year feed into that Worlds.
I'm assuming that's the way it's going to go.
But I
is-
don't know what they're going to do with this first.
It's
season.
going to be a light Worlds. That's what it's going to be.
No, yeah, but if you have like if it's October is World Championship, right, and you have a September trial for season 2, does that get you into Worlds, or does that get you into the next Worlds? Right.
That is a question I don't know. That's interesting because I understand that. I hope FFG's like, okay, this is it. This is the schedule. We're sticking to it. We're not changing it anymore, right? Because God, please let that be the case.
I don't believe that for a second, but
I guess-
fingers crossed.
I guess it sounds really weird to have, like, it would have made more sense if they wanted the second half to actually account for the next Worlds if this coming up Worlds happened before September. That's just weird timing.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. I mean, I can win a seat to Worlds in September, but it's not till 2020.
I mean,
Yet I'm going to Worlds
you
in 2019. Like,
sure. Well, you hope you are at least, right?
Well,
you'll be
okay.
there either way. But yeah,
again, I'm gonna emphasize to everyone because I know there's still people that think, and they emphasize. They said it in the article that the X-Wing World Championship tournament is invite only. I want everyone to know that I guarantee you, they're not gonna. You're still gonna be able to buy a badge to Worlds. You're still gonna be able to go spectate, play in some games, do this, get the prize wall stuff. They're not going to literally turn away 600 people. You think? Okay,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You think that I, as a non-tournament winning like ticket holder, will not be able to go to Worlds and get in?
I think that you, specifically because you're a podcaster, can get in under a media badge like I did last year. Like mine said Scum and Villainy Media on it. It's kind of fun. We didn't need to, but we went through the hoops to make it happen.
Oh yeah, no, I did too. I
right,
said, fuck it, I'll sign up.
Yeah, right. Like, well, why not?
And it said it. I was like, you guys are stupid as fuck.
But I don't know, honestly, because one of the things, like the big reason that they've obviously split X-Wing off from the rest of the Star Wars stuff, which got split off from all their other card games, is like store capacity, right? Like, I mean, X-Wing takes up a lot of space, and they, want to be able to actually like have crap going on in their store that isn't completely shut down, kind of a thing. So I don't know. It gets weird, right? Like, I hope that they let like people that want to spectate come in easily. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I guess maybe I'm underestimating the fact that you can't play in the World Championship. People might not just like, I don't want to go then.
Well, I mean, so it depends on how many people, right? Like, we always, like, because before, like, you weren't supposed to get in if you didn't have a badge, right? And so it was a little bit harder to get that kind of stuff. But there was always, 10-ish people total that I knew about that were there just to like hang out and see people, that kind of stuff, right? Because they couldn't, they either didn't get a slot or whatnot, but they still wanted to come see people. So I don't know how much more that would increase, even if, with it being invite only, how many people that like miss an invite are still going to come.
Well, Senor Tommy Adams in the chat is saying that Destiny is going to be open invite in the same weekend as X-Wing Worlds, which is interesting.
Destiny's going to be open invite at the Game Center?
At the Game Center.
So they're just having come play Destiny with us?
So it's Destiny and X-Wing?
Because it's not Destiny Worlds, right?
Destiny.
It can't be. It can't be Destiny Worlds.
That 350 to 500 players is real high, bud.
Yeah.
We could get that number if everybody that wins a seat from Europe and Australia came, but they won't. So we'll have maybe 100 from those two, and that's still probably way high, maybe 50. But if you look, how many trials were there? So what, like?
Oh man, there
50?
was at least 50 trials.
50-ish.
And that's only 50 players.
That's only 50 players.
Well, it depends on which are cups, because some of them will be top 2.
No, those were just trials. Well, no, cups, but we're going to have like 3 to 4 cups.
Yeah, there's not going to be that many cups.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of cups, so there's another, we'll say 10, right?
Okay, so it's confirmed. Destiny Worlds is the same weekend as X-Wing.
We have to deal with Destiny players?
Yeah, I know. Fucking A. God damn it. Anything.
Right.
Bring the Star Wars LCG guys back.
Yeah, sure. Right? I'll take them any day. As my dad said earlier,
we can do LCG, Armada, and
bring all 6 of the Armada players. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with that. It's an open invite to anyone who wants to go to World, but you don't get to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So now, here's an interesting point, and this is going to go out to all the store owners. So, trials are person who finishes first gets invite to Worlds. Those aren't going to pass down technically.
They technically won't.
No,
they technically will not pass down, right?
It was a hard. So, past experience.
Wait, what?
Michigan Regional, we had someone win who already had one. And they've like promised, like, yeah, we'll just pass it down. Like, there was a lot of extra talking to they had to do to even accomplish that.
Oh no, there isn't any talking to at all. You at the table go, okay, I'm going to win because I'm winning, but I already have my crap. So at the last turn, I'm going to concede, but I'm still taking all the winner shit, and then you can have your card.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody out there, don't don't screw over people. Like, so if I go to Arizona, right, or I'm going to Arizona, but if I top 8 Arizona. Like, I don't want to win a hyperspace trial because I don't want to knock somebody else out of having a shot at going and playing at Worlds, right?
But that's
real annoying.
This has been FFG standard since forever.
Yeah, but it's never been invite only. Like, I don't care if I knock your stupid store championship regional buy off you.
No, yeah,
right. Like that doesn't matter at all. But I will feel bad if I go and win 2 or 3 hyperspace trials in the Midwest and suddenly. Like, we only get one system open. So there's 13, 14 seats total from the Midwest that get to go. Suddenly, if I start winning more than one of those, that, like, you know what I mean? That's like larger numbers.
Okay, I have not seen this information yet, but
but
you're saying that if you win a system open,
or if you win anything. So if I have my Worlds invite,
and you win a hyperspace trial, The next person is not allowed.
I mean,
That
officially,
invite?
no. Officially, no.
Officially, no. He won the game. He gets the invite by rule.
Yep. And they're not going to want to try to like track who has invites previously and all that nonsense. So
Yeah.
there's not going to be like an invite registration where it's like, oh well,
Okay.
look, here's your top 4. Who has them? I mean, you're just going to know, and people are going to have to not be
Um,
douchebags. Is basically what it
You know
boils
what?
down to.
Fuck it. Wade's up. I'll text Wade right now.
Yeah, that's so, and that's why it has the actual score sheet and game needs to reflect who
The appropriate winner.
the appropriate winner. They have to
appropriate
reflect
winner
it.
as being the person that's going to get the world's invite.
Correct.
Everything else can go to whoever you want. Also, from past Michigan regional nonsense, no store owner can force you to play a game. If you want to give them the middle finger and be like, I don't want to play this game, I want to leave, you don't have to play.
This is interesting. This is a question that needs to be answered because this is big.
I don't think this is a question. This is how it is. I can't imagine them doing it any other way. So this needs to be a player-based thing of don't be a douchebag players kind of a deal.
All they'll do is go by the result of the game, and all you need to do as a player, players, is determine. Do you already have a way to Worlds? Yes. No. Okay. Yeah, you do. Do I have a way to Worlds? Yes. No. Oh, it's a no. So one of us doesn't have it. That person should probably just win the game, play the game, have a fun time. But at the last turn, just like the person who already has their Worlds invite, just concede.
Also, like the collusion side of things is, like, collusion is to manipulate score within a tournament, not to manipulate prizes. Like there should never be any issue that, like, I mean, me and coach are playing for the championship of this thing, and there's some cool prize support, and it's like, well, I've already played in something else and I have my Worlds buy, but I want the dice. And you're like, but I just want the Worlds invite. And I'm like, okay, cool, give me the dice and you can have the Worlds invite. Done. Like, you don't even have to play the game. Like, you are not obligated to play the game to anybody. If they want like an official score kind of a thing, just put your stuff on the table and fly it off the board. Like, that's not unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not any of this nonsense. Like, for whatever reason in the X-Wing world, we have this like militant casual group that is, you have to play the game because I came to this tournament and so I need to be able to see the final game. Or you'll have certain store owners that are like, but I want to broadcast to my Twitch channel that gets 4 viewers, so you have to like play that. No, you don't have to do that at all. Like, that's not a real thing. Like, people can't force you into that kind of stuff. And it's not, I've heard really nonsense arguments that it's like, oh, but that's like disrespectful to the player that you beat to get there. No, it's not. That player should have won. Like, them losing was disrespectful to themselves. Like, tell them to suck it up and be better.
That's just crazy.
So there's your PSA out of OCX.
There's your PSA, everyone.
Yeah. Now, granted, there are people who have said that it's only said, and this could be just kind of blowing smoke, but there are other people who say that, no, I will beat you because it will take you out of Worlds and increases my chances at Worlds. There are those people. And
that person is welcome to do that. And like, that you are being a dickbag, but like, hey, go be a dickbag. Like, if you want to do that, great. Like, just understand and fully embrace what you're doing. So
I think that's a perfect segue into what we're going to talk about for the next.
Oh yeah, no, Dutch. I'm absolutely gonna score as many dice as I can. Like the game that I forfeit is the finals game. Like, I'm the gatekeeper for all the actual swag. Like, I'm taking everything.
So anyway,
out of the old guard, there's only one of the 4 of us that doesn't have dice.
I had to buy mine. I mean, I didn't have to buy them. I had to like win 3 games at the last Worlds to get tickets.
Prize ticketed them.
I didn't actually win mine, but man, did I want those stripper dice.
Right.
So fuck off, Mark. You and me are in the same bag, man. Hey, I have technically never won an actual tournament.
Me either.
Same. Well, anything above a store championship.
Yeah, fuck
Me
off.
either.
Me either.
Guess who plays at the same store championships that he does?
Kyle?
Me either.
So anyway, we're gonna one of our big discussions tonight we're gonna do, and one of the reasons we have both Mark and Tyler on is we wanted to go over maybe some of the similarities and not similarities. I think the word is disparity. Maybe differences. There we go. I like that one. Harkening back to Wave 1 and 2, X-Wing 1.0, way back in the day. Going back in time, ladies and gentlemen. Back in time. Back when the game was new, nobody wanted to hit rocks, and we didn't have a fucking clue what was going on.
We really didn't.
And I really want to compare that to the hyperspace format of today, mainly with people saying that I only have 4 ships to choose from. I only have 5 ships to choose from. Let's take them back down memory lane, Mark and Tyler, and say back when we only had 2 ships to choose from.
If I can start off, really way back 6+ years ago now, we got these funny little bitty cards that we could put on these ships to do stuff. And I don't think we really understood what those little cards really meant. We were just flying around and somebody said, if you practice with this, you can make all your ships do the same thing at the same time. And they got good first.
They got good first.
I found out you could ion big ships off a board and make people scared of you for an entire weekend. You didn't have to win anything, but everybody was scared of you. You're squinting.
Trying to read what Luke is trying to fucking.
Oh, he'll collude with me and Ryan, but he doesn't like Ryan's beard.
Hey,
just
Worked hard
because
on
Luke
this.
went full freaking baby seal on us and shaved everything,
Like we assume.
we
And hope?
assume.
And hope?
Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Right now with hyperspace, I'm liking it because it feels like way back when. We've got limited ships. We really have out of the gate more advantage cards to select from than what we did in the beginning, but it still has kind of the same feel. The problem for me is instead of only having 40 or 50 people showing up at a big tournament, we're still going to get 250 to 300, and that still means I'm in the middle tables to the low tables. But I'm looking to try better. I'm not like this year. I'm looking at triple Upsilons. I can play them. Why not? I'd love to get an invite to Worlds. So yeah.
I think what Mark said there was probably the sentiment of this whole thing was it feels like
the first time. It feels like the very first time.
It feels like the very first time. Come on. When we started, and the 3 of us are in the same bag with Wave 1, there was nothing to choose from. You literally flew this, but at the same time, we didn't know that this was going to be a competitive thing.
I distinctly remember the first tournament we went to, which was the pre-release for Wave 2. So it was the Kessler run. And nobody in the tournament really knew how to play the game. We didn't know that you could only take the same action once per turn. Right? So
nobody knew that.
Right. Well, no, but like I had squad leader Vader and an academy pilot, and that fucker like did a 6 sideways barrel roll in one turn to like set up a shot that people didn't know you could like get to, and then they're like, "Wait, you can't do that." Like, oh, that makes sense. That seems pretty good. We also didn't know that like blocking didn't or like blocking removed actions and things like that. I mean, it was just. It
Oh
was
my
nonsense.
god!
It was
If
all
you
nonsense.
blocked someone back then, you were the dirtiest player in the world. You got
Oh yeah,
sideways.
people were mad. Like, what are you doing? It was like this is it's a feature. Oh, but I don't like how that plays like gameplay wise. That's a negative play experience. Sorry.
Yeah.
I brought academy pilots for a reason.
Nobody knew it as a tactical strategy.
You're telling me blocking was a negative play experience for people?
Oh, people were pissed.
Oh, hell
People
yes.
were pissed.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a timeline I want to live in. That's
Man.
hilarious.
If you moved your ship, like a multiple amount of ships into my X-Wing's path, yeah, that was like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're like, I'm denying you an action. I'm like,
Yep.
what?
Oh, yeah?
That's not
that shouldn't be how that works.
Fighting's supposed to go.
Well, I'm coming across the table denying you action.
It was a day of ignorance.
Yeah.
That's what wave 1 and 2 was. It was
So wave 2 got a little better because you started seeing like you saw turrets, which were annoying. But
yes,
I mean that started my hatred. But like I mean that was I mean, we knew about TIE Swarm, but it was like by wave 2, and it wasn't because we needed stuff from wave 2. It was just time playing the game.
Yeah.
Like then you really, because I mean, I distinctly remember I went to the Kessel run. I think we had like 12 people, right? Like a 12-person store championship kind of like feel to it. And I sat down, and one of the other guys that like played other minis games, but I knew who he was from like being at the store or whatnot, was like, "Oh, you're flying Empire?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I really like Empire better, but like they just can't win at 100 points." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, Rebels at 100 points are just like they're just too good." And then like I think I was running like 4 TIE fighters and Vader, right? So I wasn't even running like a full TIE Swarm. Like I comically want to go back in time and just like play some of those games with like an Obsidian Swarm with Howlrunner and Backstabber, and just like watch the nonsense that I can put people through. And like, but I mean, I wiped the floor with him. Like I blocked him up. I had Swarm Tactics on Mythal and Howlrunner to boost up the academies and just like murdered them, right? Because it's 3 X-Wings, right? That's what everybody was playing was 3 X-Wings. It was like, oh, well, I outnumber you by 2 ships, so I don't care if you alpha 1, right? Like I still have 4, and I'm probably going to get close to killing 1 on the exchange. Yeah. So
yeah, it was the day of Sunterfell, Turfener, and
Sunter,
and
man.
Howlrunner.
Howlrunner 4 academies in Sunter. Like, let's go.
It was so fun. But yes, I
it wasn't.
legit remember.
Bumping
was just intentional. Blocking was just, oh my god! People would get
they were so mad. Yeah, they were yes.
And the whole thought about setting up on an edge so you could try to flank somebody was just almost unheard of.
Well, it was formation flying was unheard. Like the number of people that would like, I've got my 3 ships. 1 goes on the left, 1 goes on the right, 1 goes in the middle, and I was like, but what if I put them all on the left? Like, well, why would you do that? I don't know, because I could shoot your 1 dude with my 5. Like what?
And I mean, to put this into perspective, the first I think Gen Con national tournament, which wasn't the national tournament then, it was
the national.
It was.
You mean the
yeah, it was something. It was called something different though.
No,
wasn't
it was Gen Con National Championship.
Yeah.
Because you guys played
North American National.
Yeah, the North American National Championship. Because you guys played in the pre-launch event, like that Thursday.
That Thursday was great. It was 30 of us, and
well, you guys were. I was busy being the
you were busy being
Mr.
Dust guy and having fun winning that. Yeah, right there. I know.
Yeah. It's my favorite trophy I've ever gotten.
But it was 30 of us, and then the next day it was like what, 50 of us. It was.
It
was
like
not that much more.
Like that. Yeah, but it was
not a lot
like,
more. Yeah.
So this is like going full get off my lawn mode here. everyone bitches about how like, oh well, this needs to be a 2-day event because like we have to play 6 rounds and like we couldn't do a cut the top 8. We started at 8 a.m. and they finished at 3 a.m.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like it was a 19 hours of X-Wing day. Like that was
Long
like
day.
because it was I think it was 8 rounds of Swiss or something obnoxious.
It was
like
8
that.
rounds of Swiss, cut
It
the
was
top 16 or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and then like it was
We're like,
awful.
what
And the
are
next
you
year
guys
was even
doing to
the
us?
next year was even worse because that was the year where we had like 2 days that you played into, and then the second like the day
Yep.
2 was 7 rounds of Swiss into cut to top 8, 7 maybe 8 rounds of Swiss. Oh,
It was so bad.
so many games.
So bad. But the limited card pool allowed you only so many variations of a list. I mean,
Well, we didn't have the upgrade slots. Like that's
Well-
the big thing, right? Like you couldn't put anything on a TIE fighter.
you couldn't put anything on anything. Like
Yeah.
your proton torpedoes. That was it.
Like Sunterfell had pushed the limit, nothing else.
That was
Like,
it. There was nothing else. But the amount of lists that you had even then was spread out. People didn't know. People didn't.
Yeah, so like that's
I played Turf and all the time.
and you could like
And
you could get wins with
could
him
back then. He was really good.
So no, like it was like we didn't have the player base right now, right? Like when we have thousands of players across the US. And when you get that player base, you start getting the like you can optimize by crowdsourcing, right? Like people play a shit ton of games and then we get to see like, okay, well this is good. Oh, well, now I know to like go in this general local area and I can kind of optimize from there, right? And you just didn't really have that as much back then. Like we had Team Covenant was like the place you would go.
That was the only place.
Like, well, you could go to the FFG forums. They were as bad as they are
God.
now.
Yeah,
So
don't
you
do that.
shouldn't. And Reddit was the Wild West at that point. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I remember, like I joined the X-Wing Reddit when there was like 100 people for the subreddit or something like that. Like, I mean, it was very, very limited and very few. But like Team Covenant had a really good messaging board system that you could write actual articles, and there was, a lot of good like, here's how you formation fly, here's how you do this. But it, generally speaking, it wasn't. This is the best meta list, and this is what you should be flying. It was here is my new theory on what I like to do, and I'm going to use it in this manner, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it wasn't until Wave 4 that we really saw that convergence on this is the list that everyone's going to run, and it was Full TIE Swarm, Fat Han, or Whisper, and that was it.
And around Wave 4 was when the podcast started kicking up, and people started paying attention. This game is selling. When you start seeing a game sell, a lot of people start picking it up, and then all of a sudden, and it's just the pool of people. There's going to be so many people try weird shit, and then all of a sudden, oh wow, I heard this from over here. I heard this from over here, and then that's when the whole snowball started to go. Where like, okay, then the meta is starting to come in. Before then, it was the Wild West. It was,
and when you came up with something, you had to like go to an event and sit down and play at the event and go, oh, like what didn't work, what did. Because like I remember, like Will and I played a bunch back then, and we were some of the only local players that would play every week, right? And so I was consistently beating Will. So Will was teching his list into what I like to play. So like it was before like the Wave 3 Gen Con or the Wave 4 Gen Con. I was running Vessery, like VI Vessery with heavy laser cannon, Soontir with targeting computer and push, and then a Doom Shuttle, right?
Yep.
Well, he was on Soontir, Cath Scarlet with VI, and like Rebel Captive to like hyper stress fuck my Soontir. Yep. And I forget like what the third ship was, right? So we get in and we actually played each other like second round or something like that, and I get the win. And like he's playing the rest of the time out, he's playing. He's like, man, I keep getting like crushed. And I was like, well, yeah, you're hyper teched against me, but not against what everybody else is playing. As soon as somebody else doesn't bring like that,
pretty sure I crushed him. I'm pretty sure I crushed him at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Suck it, Will.
All right. He's gotten a lot better since then.
Oh, I do remember that game. Oh, fuck. Was he running Carter Jax?
Carter Jax didn't exist in that game.
No shit. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He wouldn't have been running Jax though. It would have been. It might have even been VI Tur. So they were all mines.
Oh, what the hell did I run? And his jacks just died. And it was hilarious. He's like, I'm done. Anyway. But to fast forward to 6 years later,
Yeah.
we now have Hyperspace. We now have tens of thousands of players, probably worldwide.
Yeah.
We have hundreds of podcasts. We have websites that we have all fucking perfect information from that exists everywhere.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Those are Scum and Villainy developed and funded.
So, all right.
They are. It's Antigrapus and Sozin, man. Those guys do great work.
Yes.
I don't do shit.
Those two
Yeah.
are, man, they're fucking. Whenever Dion decides to put a Hall of Fame inductee per world, those two should be first ballots.
Muon as well. You got like
Yes, Muon.
Yeah.
Did you see the way the stats update?
That's a good.
Oh,
that's
my
a good
Lord.
side event. Hold on.
Oh,
That's a good side event. But I want to. We're gonna quick segue into how hyperspace is what we're gonna have to go with forward, guys.
well,
And I
that
think-
system opens.
I think FFG is going to literally they're going to do the whole card pool thing. They're going to go, this is your hyperspace for this year. This is your hyperspace for this year.
6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months at a time.
Yep.
Is that going to translate a little bit? I mean, obviously there's a lot more to know about, but are we going to get that feeling that we had back in wave 1 and 2? I'm already getting it.
Oh,
With the squad building, you have limitations. And you have to work within those limitations. And that's what you have to deal with. Mark?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm trying to reinvent my play style, not so much my play style, but my choices to try to be more competitive, not lock myself into the same mold that, I felt for a while I couldn't go to tournaments. If I didn't bring 4Y wings, I'd be asked to leave. But,
the mold had to break sometime.
I want to fly X-wings, I'm kind of taking the attitude that Will has, where, yeah, they may not win every time, but I'm going to play them so well that I'll have a good chance of winning. You know what I mean? I've just got to get the right. Tyler said it best, where, yeah, these are good, but if you bring 3 of them, I win. You need 4 of them. And then you're going, oh shit, 4 of them. Oh wait, that means I don't have a 6 and a 5 and a 5. That means I've got 4 3s.
Yep.
And how do I tech them out? So it's still a learning experience for me. And
I guess
my hard drive's full, so it's slower.
I guess someone who didn't experience the wave 1 and 2 nostalgia. Ryan, what are your overall thoughts on hyperspace? Is it I know it's limiting to squad building, but does it bring out something that we when we were in wave 1 and 2 that you can experience it now, or is it more of a this is gonna win, this is not gonna win kind of a thing?
So I'm kind of one of those guys who gets excited for the discovery aspect, where, oh, new ships, forms new meta, what can I solve? What's going to be prevalent? How could I handle it? What do I have to do? So I like solving those problems. So Baron, with hyperspace being a quote-unquote new problem to solve, I'm excited for that aspect. I'm also excited to, I don't know, not see the predominant same lists in extended over and over, but with the points changes, that could also adjust too. So all I'm hoping for the points adjustments anyway is like make hyperspace better, make extended more tolerable. That's all I'm kind of going for.
Do you actually think that we won't have the same quote meta lists in hyperspace that we play against the whole time?
I expect it, if points don't adjust enough that
no, dude. Throw out everything we currently know about the game, right?
Okay.
Like this current set of points is nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like you are given a card pool and point values for a set of ships for the 7 factions, right? Like we're still going to localize on the same list. You're going to still have the same 3 or 4 lists that get predominantly played that do well because those are the local optimizations, right?
Yeah,
like that's just
I agree. A meta still evolves. That's just what's going to happen, and there's going to be ships that go to the top and
right, because there's no way to perfectly balance the game. Like that can't happen, and we don't want that to happen. Like,
No,
we really don't. Like that's not how a good competitive game works. So like something is going to be slightly better. Something's going to be the Boba Fett. Something's going to be the Red Line, right? Like it just happens, regardless of what ships you have in hyperspace. So like, that's my frustration with hyperspace is like I understand that thought. I was like, oh well, it'll be different. It's like it's going to be Boba Fett instead of Boba Palob. Okay, I mean it's a little different, but is it really that much different?
Yeah, I get and I understand. There's going to be a meta in both, but I like that there are 2 places that I could play in and solve at any given time or attempt to. And hyperspace is just that new one right now. I'm not 100% convinced that come 3 months from now, I'm going to be as excited for hyperspace as I am now. It's going to be a experience thing. At least playing at Outrider, even though I was probably bringing a list I won't bring to hyperspace ever again. I guess I felt like the matchups weren't so one-sided, even though lists were put against me in theory. I extended might still not feel that much as much, but the hard counters, because there's a wider array of ships, the niche areas are more covered because of the pool, and when that occurs, if those pieces are prevalent, some others just can't exist at all, which when we go look at trip upsilons in hyperspace, maybe if those become more prevalent, 2 dice shots really can't exist that prevalent. So I could see it happening in hyperspace well. It's metas develop, things will happen. There's always going to be bugaboos, and figure it out.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, we will figure it out. It's just like I get frustrated when I hear but hyperspace is so much better because there's a limited card pool and so it's easier to balance. Like first of all, I don't believe FFG. They've never shown me anything to like prove that that's going to be a good thing. And with the limited card pool, like you have the opposite of that is true, because like when you get that broken thing in the limited card pool, there's not as big of a card pool to find something that punishes it. Right?
Which I agree. Like that is 100% possible. And I think that's where it's kind of in hyperspace almost up to points changes and new releases, which will be part of hyperspace that could shake it up, right? Yeah. So, and I think the term easier to balance is correct, but will it happen?
Yeah, it should be. Yes, it should be easier to balance.
Yeah.
And are we all in agreement or disagreement? Is this the best way FFG can satisfy the X-Wing community? Systems opens are extended. Trials and cups are hyperspace, which hyperspace is going to be changing all the time. Or not all the time, but
every 6 months.
Every 6 months. Is that what the community wants and needs?
Community has far-reaching opinions on anything at this point.
I mean,
and and you know what? Just like any Star Wars fan, they're super passionate about either side.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess if you have one aspect of the game that's constantly changing, right? The meta is always changing there, or at least every 6 months it's changing there, and it has a competitive side to play that. Whereas also on the flip side, has a competitive side to play the extended. Everything they've got out, that's free for all. Is this FFG kind of killing two birds with one stone kind of a thing.
I think there's a chance that how they have it set up, the more I think about it, the more it might be the best case scenario that right now. It may change in the future, depending on what the community like has opinions on, I guess, overall. But when you have the regionals, or trials, right, that there are more of them now and they're wider spread, you're more likely to get the newer competitive players in that format, meaning Hyperspace is more accessible to their wallet and collection than Extended. Now, Extended can still be played at any game night. Like, go to your local game night, play whatever you want. Like, we are alternating each week Extended Hyperspace just so that everyone has an option. System opens are lesser and larger and have both of them technically available. You have Extended as the main point, which caters, for what FFG's view is, to the larger X-Wing competitive community that already have these large collections that can pull from. And you have the Hyperspace qualifier for, I would think their thought process is newer competitive people less likely to place high. They'll probably play in the qualifier to enjoy that competitive aspect.
Yeah, I'm in agreement where FFG's never going to end up in a happy spot.
Someone's always mad.
They're just not. I think what they're doing now is soothing everyone a little bit. I mean, you can still be mad, but you can't be that mad. Trying to appease everyone's never going to happen, but I think this is the best possible way to do it.
Go back and listen to other episodes of Scum and Villainy if you really want the in-depth analysis there. But I 100% don't believe your new player standpoint, from a price standpoint, or from a like, the only thing that is good for a new player about Hyperspace is that presently, and this could change, all the ships are second release edition ships. So if they come into the store and see it and they buy their core set because that's what they've got to buy, then they can just go like, oh, this is the only things I can use, and so I can go buy that one because I see that guy won the thing and he had that over there. Yes. Like the secondhand market for 1.0 ships is super cheap. It's very easy to find stuff.
I will tell you right now, Alliance Distributors has put a hold
No,
not
all
1.0 ships.
Yeah. No, that's buying new. I'm talking about like the used market. Like, there's a huge amount of like buy, sell, trade. Like, you can get any ships you want in large quantities for dirt cheap prices. Like, buying a conversion set and going and buying your crap secondhand is way cheaper than buying like 2.0 stuff off the shelf. Granted, that's buying secondhand ships. Like, so some people are turned off from that. Like, this helps Little Timmy, which people apparently got offended that I used that last time in Scum of Villainy, but whatever, I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree if you think I'm going to change.
we'll just call him Little Tommy.
Yeah, sure, Little Tommy, whatever. Like, if you've got a 14-year-old kid isn't going to be able to like actively go through a secondary used market because they can't ship stuff because their parents doesn't want them talking to strangers on the internet, I guess, right? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's still a thing for young kids these days. I mean, they have a cell phone from the age 2, so they probably talk to strangers. I don't know. So for them, being able to buy it is fine, but like for any person that's coming from other minis games and whatnot, they're already going to be used to that style. Like, I mean, I've played competitive War Machine, and I've bought almost my entire War Machine army secondhand 3-bay, like pre-painted and everything like that. Like, so that's a very common thing to do. So like, that side of it is frustrating because I hear that argument all the time. Like, it's better for new players. No, that new player is still going to lose and he's still going to suck. Like, if he goes to a system open, it doesn't matter that it's extended. He's not going to win the system open because he's played for 2 months. Like, the number of players that burst onto the scene with like 1 or 2 months of training and like wowed everybody is crazy small. And on top of that, like, if you're playing at a friendly game store, like, so you are a new player to OCX game store, and you want to go to whatever the closest system open is, right? And you've been there for a month, and you bought your core set and your couple of 2.0 ships, and then you go, man.
Don't read.
Yes.
No.
No. Keep watching to let me know that how offended you are. It's perfect. So I saw my name. I get distracted. So he wants to go to that system open, right? But like he can't find a Punisher locally. Like you don't have one on the shop, like the
you're
sales
done.
floor. Like you can't get a Punisher. Are you telling me that there is nobody that is out of your play group that wouldn't lend him a Punisher for the day?
Oh yeah,
no, there
the
is.
community will fill in for
100%.
that.
Like no, there's 100. Like so, you can't even tell me that like, oh well, I couldn't go win this system open because I just couldn't find a Punisher. No, there's 20 of them sitting on somebody's shelf, and he will let you use one for the day, and like happily let you use one for the day. It's not like, oh well, I shouldn't do this because now you're gonna have a power list, and I don't think I can beat you. Here, take the Punisher. If I lose to you with you running an extended list with only a month, like I deserve the loss.
Yeah, no.
So not necessarily again the word newer players. Would you agree the events that have been laid out for Hyperspace are more accessible to new players? They don't have to be better because if that player decides they want to fly these other ships extended, like go for it, whatever.
Right, that's what I'm saying though. Is like I don't because like a typical new player that comes into X-Wing goes, okay, here's your core set, and they've watched the movies, so either they want to go with Resistance now because those are the new movies, so they want to fly Poe and they want to fly Rey, right? So they go buy a Falcon and they go buy, which they're both there, you can get them. Like okay, they've got their stuff, cool. Or they're like an OG trilogy people and they want to fly like Luke and Wedge, and then they inevitably put Biggs in there too because apparently they have to, and like they can get all of those ships off the shelf right away, and that's the list they're going to run anyway. Like, so it's not going to matter if they're playing in a hyperspace or an extended setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, I'm sure you've seen it with new people, right? Like, they come in and they've got astromechs on everything, torps on everything, EPTs on everything. Like, every slot has to be filled. If it's not filled, I'm not doing something wrong, right? Like, that's just they're new to the game. That's kind of your natural progression. Like, you put a bunch of stuff on there, you play a few games, you go, oh, okay, like these weren't useful. Okay, maybe I can trade those for something else. Like,
yeah, and I've definitely seen the new person come in who have brought the most jankiest scum stuff possible that are nowhere near Hyperspace as well.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own preferences.
Yeah. So like I get the argument. I just don't think it actually holds water when you really break it down.
I guess what it boils down to is this the best possible way FFG can make everyone happy?
So I don't like Hyperspace as an idea, but that also doesn't mean that I'm like happy with extended, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
So what would
I'm
you
there
do?
as well.
Right. So like I'm very frustrated by the idea of Hyperspace, especially with it being the predominant thing that we get to play, with it being all the trials or whatnot. Like I go to maybe 2 system opens. Hopefully I'll get to go to like 5 or 6 trials plus a cup or 2, that kind of a thing. And it for the most part it seems like a lot of your local stuff is going to be in Hyperspace format or format as well. Like just from talking to people, like you guys could be different. But like I have playstyles that I like that are basically not available to me unless I go to like a specific faction that I like aces right now are best done in Resistance. So like if I don't want to buy Resistance, like you don't get to play aces, right? So okay, so now I'm an ace player, so I go and I spend the money for the Resistance and I get the stuff, and then next Hyperspace comes out and now all the aces are in Empire. And you don't get it. You just don't have access to. I don't know how they would go about doing that, but like you don't have access to it anymore. So it's like, oh well, now I have to go chase this over here. But I like doing that over here. Yeah, right. Like, and also it's Hyperspace is always going to be like core set and the latest wave plus something else, right? And it's probably only going to be 1 or 2 something else's. So it's possible that like my really cool Decimator or my really cool painted Lambda like just never see the table in a Hyperspace.
Just collect dust.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's just sad, right? I'm like, but
sad.
Like that looks really cool. Shout out Luke. Like I've gotten to play my Lambda at 1 event. Like so.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap a bow on this conversation.
So
So I want to first of all, I think we're gonna save that for the shit show. So for all of you who are not listening live, you're gonna miss out on some stuff. But you know what? You can always watch it on YouTube. So first of all, we want to do some shout outs. We always let our guest go first. Do you have any shout outs, Tyler?
I mean, just shout out to the rest of the guys at Scum and Villainy. It's where I'm normally at week to week. The
week
randoms.
to week.
Yeah. Oh no, we record every other, but we do stuff every week. And then I guess also shout out to the Aces League. If you guys haven't checked that out, go see us playing there. I'm currently in second, I think.
Yes,
So,
do go
doing
check
pretty
out
well.
the Aces League. Ricky has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that thing.
He does.
And please go check that out. At least follow it. If you want to learn how to be a better X-Wing player.
And I think he's currently in last.
Ricky is indeed currently in last. Yeah, I mean, Ricky will tell you himself that he has no right to be in the league other than the fact that he runs it, so he gets to be in the league. But like, if you go find any of the YouTube or any of the Facebook posts or any of the Reddit posts for it, we have a Google Drive account for all the games. So if you know how to use Vassal, you can go watch all of the games. Like watch all of us make stupid mistakes, run lists that accidentally don't work. Like I had Tabson in a list and it absolutely screwed me because I didn't realize he was a net 3. Like that's one of my 2 losses.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you guys are new or wanting to become better players, definitely check this out. I mean, it is the community giving you guys a guidebook of how to become better X-Wing players. Watching the best at what they do, just free for you guys to just go watch. So check that out. Scum and Villainy Challenge, the Aces Challenge League.
Yeah.
I think every predominant podcast Facebook page has some sort of post there.
We spam all of it.
Yeah, I know you guys do.
Ricky spams all of it.
Ricky does. I know. Anything else?
No, I have to pee. That's.
Oh, all right. It's a good time. Let's go with Age Before Beauty, Uncle Mark.
I was going to thank Tyler for coming out and joining us tonight, but he's gone to go pee.
You can still thank him. Nobody listening knows he wants to go pee, except for now.
Oh, really? You just froze.
No,
really? Now you're back. Okay,
there
we
go. Come on, just stretching. Us old guys need to do that every once in a while.
Yeah, tell me about it. No, I really don't have any shout outs. Just guys, we got more snow coming this weekend. Don't get stupid. Don't have heart attack shoveling snow.
Padre.
Oh, I think he's on a permanent ban
from anything outside,
walking or things like that. No, I do want to shout out X-Wing Recon Specialist, our Patrick. He's doing some fun stuff out there, and sometimes people even watch it. But he's putting it out there, and he doesn't want any recognition for it. He doesn't want any praise for it. But just keep up the good work.
We'll give him some.
A couple of us actually enjoy what you're doing. So that's it for me.
Ryan Tapsky.
I guess I'll start with all the Outrider stuff. Shout out to Family Time Games and all of the indie team that helped run that event. Andrew Schmidt just got put on managerial duty, towards the end of it, when we just needed someone to keep track of all the matchups that were going on, because there were a few times where a team couldn't pair against another team at the end, so they had to figure all that out, which was part of the chaos. And then shout out to Fleming and Gordon and any other main Outrider people who've been there for a while. They've invited all of the other teams, and I think I can speak for just about everybody, at least on my team, if not the others, that we all enjoyed. All us newcomers had a blast. It was really fun for my team. We, unlike most of the other guys, we drove up the night before and left the night after, and we missed all of the snowfall in our drive, which was perfect for us. It sounded like most people got home safe. We all kept up with each other to make sure that everyone's like, yeah, I'm home. Yeah, I'm home. The Pittsburgh team did have a flat tire on the way home, which made it so they didn't get back to like 6:30 a.m., but they made it. So good for them, but probably sucked. And then shout out as well to Liberty Squadron podcast. They had me on in their recent episode, Bomb Voyage, to kind of go over the Resistance bomber. And it was great chat with those guys. They got a cool podcast.
I downloaded them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's 2 podcasts in one show. Recon Special, X-Wing Recon Specialist. Go check them out. And Liberty Squadron. Definitely check them out. They're right there.
We're here to help.
Right there. We are here to help. That is what the OCX motto is. We're here to help. Boycott episode 9, Mariano says. I don't know which podcast that's directed to. It's probably ours.
Or episode 9 Star Wars?
Oh,
Ooh.
Could be.
I won't. Sorry. I'm gonna get December 25th.
I don't think anyone's gonna do that, but
Just gonna enjoy it.
I want to shout out our listeners once again. If you guys, wait, check this out. I haven't done this in a while. If you have any comments or complaints, please send them to ocxradio@gmail.com. If you have a bad list submission, which, man, we are super bad at. We haven't done that in a while. But if you would like to send us one anyway that we can make fun of on the air, again, send it to ocxradio@gmail.com. I want to thank my guest, Tyler Tippett, for coming on the show.
Yeah, anytime that I can fit your Wednesday around my volleyball schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime. I want to thank my co-hosts, Uncle Mark Tippett and Ryan Tontopsky.
Woot.
That's a new one I added. See that? I added that. That's new.
Good for you.
And I want to thank our producer, John Montana. Without him, you would never, ever get to hear us. Because there's
Got
no
the
way.
timestamps.
There's
Got the
no
timestamps.
way I am editing this shit. So I want to give a big shout out to John Montana. I want to give a big shout out to Kyle and Chico and Chicago. Just because y'all ain't on regular doesn't mean you can't hop in. You get the fucking Google Hangouts thing same time we do. So, damn it. Anyway.
He's saying he misses you guys.
I miss you guys a lot. Anyway, that's going to do it for the OCX Radio Podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you. Fuck it. Yub nub.
Yub nub. 11:26 Jub Dub.
So you guys have to take
the
take the actual route now, where the crates just drove the quality of podcast down so far that we don't even pay people to edit it anymore. Like we take a note if there was like something we blatantly have to rip out because like, oh hey, we accidentally said something that was really wrong or whatnot, and then like slap music on front and end and push go.
Yeah, I think I remember the episode where Kelvin's like, I'm just done editing. I'll just do it like the crates do, just done.
I see Patrick. Patrick said that he got monetized by Disney for one of his last shows.
Oh,
solid.
Fucking liar. He's a liar.
But no, you can actually tell when we stopped editing because we used to cut out all the dead time, and anytime somebody was stumbling and saying just like all that would get cut out. You sounded so much better when you were on our podcast compared to every other podcast or whatnot. We're like, oh man, they must have really practiced to go in that Scum and Villainy thing. Nah, we just spent hours editing.
I wonder if you can ever tell. I wonder when we like Montana edits the show, but it's not like he goes by timestamps and anything that gets
stitches it together,
through
right?
the cracks, it's there. But he used to go full bore. I wonder if you can ever tell Like, I wonder what episode it was. Be a good poll question for the Facebook chat. When did Montana stop caring?
So, Tyler, back because I just thought about this, and back to your point when you're mentioning how hyperspace really doesn't line up well. Do you think it's just on the basis that because of how they could shift things around and how they build X-Wing 2.0 as you can be faction specific, that being faction specific in any limited format just doesn't mesh well together?
Not if you want to win. No.
Okay.
Like if you're like that's why I'm looking at FO, and I feel like between Empire, First Order, and Separatists, I should have. And then I have the Scum kit because I had to spend $50 to get Triple O and BT1. So I guess I've got it right.
Yeah.
But it will be significantly harder to.
So do you think?
I mean, like
more
Empire right now, I think is basically garbage in hyperspace. Like you have TIE Swarm, and TIE Swarm will fuck people, but like you just lose to Boba Fett. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Like, and I think Boba Fett is such a trivial and easier list to fly compared to a TIE Swarm that like people aren't gonna want it. And like the general public at large don't want to fly more than 3 ships. Like it just doesn't happen.
I don't understand that general public myself, but
I took 5 to Coruscant, right? Like it was fun, but like 4 Strikers and Whisper, like I did 10 dials a game per turn instead of 5. You know what I mean? Like, and that shit hurts after a while. Like
I remember doing that. Did a little bit of Sloan stuff that I did earlier on second edition. It was like, oh, so I'm now setting. Yep, okay, yep. Like I'm down if I'm at a point where I'm down to 2 of my Strikers and Sloan, like I'm still like looking at 6 maneuvers.
Yep.
So, but so do you think that is a fundamental thing, that it's not just an X-Wing problem, that like any game that would have a faction oriented game that is looking at a limited format just doesn't mesh at all?
So limited,
or do you think there's any way that it can work?
I mean, sure. I have 100% faith that somebody could make it work. Limited faction or limited formats work really, really well in card games, but they work really, really well in card games because they have a huge effing card pool.
Yeah, they can rotate a lot easier.
Look at a Hearthstone release, right? Like you have massive numbers of cards, like in the generic pool. Not to mention all the cards you have in each individual, not caster, but like class, right? So when you rotate, and they don't even rotate, it's not even like we go from like 1 card set to 1 card set. It's you've got 4 card sets, right? And then as a new one comes in, the old one goes out. So you have like 1,000+ cards that you're working with. When we're limiting down to like 4 ship chassis, like we're just going way too limited is my problem there. Because like there's just not options, right? Like people are like, oh well, like you could run Empire races. Like, can you? You can run like Duchess and Vader and die.
Yeah, it's like the ACest you get is Duchess Vader.
Yeah, and it's not it's not that even that's not very. It's not that that's not good. It's that like Kylo Quickdraw or Poe A-Wing, right, are just so obnoxiously better at doing that comparatively. It's like it just pushes you down the line of, oh, I guess we get to run TIE Swarm.
Now, do you expect the ship pool to still stay around 4 to 6 per faction?
I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I really don't.
I feel like this is just the early stages, and we're just going to go through the little bit of rough spot where we're a little more limited than we'll eventually be.
So my frustration is we don't have any information about it. Like, it's entirely possible that hyperspace in general 2 years from now is going to be 8 ships, right? And we have a fairly broad range that we can choose from, and then like, okay, that will alleviate some of the problem there. But like, yeah, look, we don't know that. Like, we could just always be at 4 ships.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean? Like, I assume FFG's concern is like they would like to be transparent about it, but then that might feel like empty promises if it doesn't happen to the community, right?
Sorry, I'm answering Matthew's question here. Vader being playable is really like he'd have to go down a decent number of points, but Supernatural also can't go up that same decent number of points.
I think Supernatural's got to
go up.
Supernatural's got to go up, but Vader has to go down more than Supernatural goes up.
Right, but
that's the balance.
Yeah, but like even there, like that starts getting into a weird space because like you can't lower Vader too much because like Vader with just like sense or a cheap talent isn't bad. He's not good, but like he's
Yeah.
not bad. And you would hit that threshold because he hits like a truck and he doesn't need supernatural to hit like a truck. Like, I mean, he has a proton torp like every turn basically. Like it's obnoxious, but he just dies, right? And when he's 100 points, him just dying is not worth it in any way. But if he gets down to like 70 points, like kitted, like that starts to get like real weird with what else you can fit in there.
Yeah.
Because now if I can fit 4 strikers in Vader, like, oh, okay, now I actually have to think about that.
All right, boo. This is boring. We're talking X-Wing Goldies Hall of Fame inductees.
X-Wing Gold.
What is your class of 2020, Coach?
Well, you got to have categories, right?
No,
it's a Hall of Fame.
this is
yeah,
the
I
Hall
know.
of
categories.
Fame.
Sure. I mean, there's always
This is
categories.
the fuck off, Dion. You answer my goddamn phone right now.
I mean, it's
Wait,
it's
Dion's
11:30.
Dion's in chat.
I know he's in chat.
Oh, hi, Dion. Answer the
Hi,
phone.
Dion.
He's supposed to be letting me know if he's available to be on this.
Like now?
Yes, now.
Oh.
He's driving home from league right now, so probably not.
Fair. do the Zach Matthews car call in.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that would be priceless.
Those episodes are hilarious, though.
They are.
Because one of my favorite ones is, I think it was in the 1.0 time period where they were just figuring out the whole Miranda plus Biggs plus something before Biggs got like changed.
Yeah.
And just half the time you hear Zach just yelling Biggs in the background with static in the car.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dion. I'm getting there.
He wants the link.
I'm getting there.
I get it to him too.
Calm down. Paste. Why won't it paste? It won't paste.
I got it.
All right.
You didn't eat enough pace. You didn't play.
You know.
What are we? Glue lickers? What is that?
you eat paste.
So wait, the crates say glue eaters. Sounds like we can change something to something liquors, and that'd be hilarious.
I mean, so I love the crates.
Oh.
I hate the people that listen to the crates because man, you guys take jokes and miss them hard, and then like try to meme on the internet, and it's just like over your head, and it's real frustrating for us to know what's going on.
Out of hand now, right? Like they're just posting some fucking weird shit.
So you're
talking about like like the actual Facebook chat?
Yes,
That's not
so
out
like,
of hand. It's supposed to be that level of
no,
nonsense.
it's not. No, it's not. The Lego thing was like, nope, I'm out.
I don't know how like much you actually pay attention to it, but like the butt porgs getting deleted many times was fucking hilarious.
Well, there was like the picture of like the Lego rape scene, and I was like,
well, I didn't see that.
no,
sure,
I'm out
sure.
on this.
I'm not aware.
Why is this a thing?
Hi, Dion.
Okay,
Hi, Dion.
Dion's here. Let's not talk about degenerates. Let's talk about real good people.
It's true. High quality. What? Okay, actually, that's the funny part. Like, can Dion put himself in the X-Wing Hall of Fame, like on the first inductee?
Well, this is my thing. This is okay. Dion's gonna hear me out.
Hold on, Dion. You absolutely can. It's yours. You can do what you want with it.
I mean, he did win Best Podcast of the Year.
Right?
No, that was Minox.
That was a Minox.
You won something.
He got voted. I think he got voted a lot for. I think he took himself out of the for good, the Force for Good. Even though I'm pretty sure a lot of people voted for
him.
Yeah,
he won Force for Good. We all know that. Don't. Yeah.
Oh, he's not saying no.
so Dion, we got a new category added to the Goldies.
Oh, okay. Strong
essentially, because they were my idea in the first place.
Okay.
So we're gonna do X-Wing Hall of Fame. I think this needs to be a thing.
Okay.
And like the real people, like we've already mentioned, like Muon. Yeah. We mentioned Anti-Grapus. We mentioned Sozin.
You should have
Rathos.
Rathos.
Like true freaking made the
the-
game better.
Made the
Yeah.
community better, easier, more
Like
accessible. All
not
that kind of
just
stuff.
talked on a podcast type
Right,
thing.
actually did
No.
stuff.
Actually did
No,
things.
yeah, like people,
God.
and we're thinking maybe like a little bracelet, like the whole maybe the
Oh,
like
fuck
the
it. Hall of
poker
Fame
thing.
needs a ring. A Hall of Fame
Oh
ring.
fuck yes!
Well, is it a ring or a jacket?
Oh,
The jackets?
Oh
Jacket.
shit!
I mean,
Like
This
bright
can be
orange.
the cheapest shit ring you can find. Like, get it 3D printed or something. Doesn't need to be real metal.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
It's just it's just a 3D printed ring with just a because everyone's got extra T70s. Just glue a T70 on it.
You're not wrong.
T65, yeah,
It's the non-flippy wing one.
yeah, the old one.
It's all the T65s nobody wants.
Yep.
What do you think, Dion?
I like the idea. I like.
All right.
We can make that happen.
Okay, so because we're still doing goldies, right?
Yeah, there's some logistical issues that need to be solved, but that the plan is to make sure it happens.
And then
I'm still in
Is
the
it-
lead
hold
for
on.
the best co-host over 60, right?
Oh Jesus! I mean, they're gonna be the best X-wing player, or let's take that back. The X-wing player over 60 crowd. It's just
It's not me.
you just get the nomination card like we all got. Like you were in the category. Nobody wins because you're all old.
They just yell at each other. It's fine.
Beat you with my walker.
Is the logistical nightmare the suggestion that I made a long time ago?
No. So we don't have a World's Day right now, right? We don't have a World's Day.
October-ish.
Yeah, it's
Right.
October-ish.
I know it's October-ish, but the other issue is because it is invite only, that does have some issues with how do we what categories do we do, what prizes can actually be given out that day, because we don't know. We won't
Right.
know until a couple months really before how that all works.
Yeah.
We're gonna really be expanding the painting and mods awards. I'm starting that whole voting thing way earlier for that because
Right.
didn't have enough time. And some of the other things are moving to rather than a public vote. Some of it will be like a closed panel, just for sake of trying to get through things. We'll still take public nominations and stuff.
Don't you steal that. That was my idea. Don't you steal that.
How would you know?
God damn it, Dion. You get me every fucking time.
If you're not part of the committee, you don't know.
No, I mentioned that a long time. When
Oh, you
we
did?
came up with the Goldies, this was a Dion coach thing.
So, Dion,
Oh, no,
this was a
time
recommendation
out,
by.
Time out. Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind
I'll
of.
take it. Fuck it. I'll take it.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, it was, but I didn't have the wherewithal nor the fucking. There was nobody could do it better than Dion. I will give him that. But we did tease this a little bit, and then
Oh, yeah.
all of a sudden I saw the Goldies announced, and I was like, "Aw."
Well,
So, Dion, this was actually recommended by Tommy, and this obviously could feel less Worlds like, but since everyone can go, you could do Gen Con.
huh?
Oh shit! You know the
I mean-
OCX house is open.
So the frustration with Gen Con is there's so much
stuff
other
going on.
Gen Con shit to going on.
There's
right?
a lot, yeah.
I mean, this is coming from I went to Gen Con for years before X-Wing was even a thing, right? And
It was still full.
what's that? Well, no,
It was still
that's
full.
what I mean. It's like I get frustrated that so much of my time goes to X-Wing, right? Because there's so much other cool shit to do there, right? And are you good? I feel like you would have a poor turnout because it would be hard to say Saturday night everyone go here because I want to go to this game that I have booked for Saturday night because I finally have a night free that you know what I mean, or that
Right.
kind of stuff.
I still think it should be a Worlds event. Hell, we could do it like the NFL draft and be like, poured in people on
Do we,
Hangouts.
we let them know ahead of time so that they can,
Oh,
they
yeah.
can already be
Oh,
on
yeah.
be on Twitch. Yeah, all right.
We just patch them in, and
Or-
then,
or
they
we
can
just
have the
have a-
crowd behind them all fucking going crazy. And, it'd be
like
great.
any true award show, you just have their pre-recorded acceptance speech.
Right. That's kind of lame though.
Yeah, I know. But that's the cheesiness of it.
That's
well, let's just say that the first Goldie's streamcast probably didn't go very well. I mean,
when we kept having to be kept having to be told to be quiet, there was a wedding going on next door. Like,
there was a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
Very incoherent.
I don't want to get too much into it.
I may or may not have brought a handle of Fireball that made the rounds.
I might have cried. I don't know.
Yeah, you did.
There
Yeah,
might
you
have been
did.
some emotions going on.
I mean,
Coach-
to be fair,
Coach-
you were
Coach
really
was-
drunk and also really sunburned. So
Man.
Oh man.
And could barely talk.
yeah,
And I couldn't talk. It was like the worst fucking world.
But Coach had never been happier for Chico. He gave him the biggest hug.
and it's all the game center manager because he wouldn't let me put my tent up for you, so you'd stop getting
Oh.
sunburned.
I'm not gonna lie. I put a call in for this year on that one.
What, you called in and asked if you could have a tent?
No, I legit called the Roseville city fucking
ordinance
or whatever, and I might get that happening.
Were they going to give you a weekend
Like
pass?
they might give me a weekend pass.
Oh jeez.
That's fantastic.
Oh, hey Coach, have you spread the April Fool's idea that I gave you a few weeks back to the other podcasts? You remember that? Nope. Damn it. All right. Well,
I'm gonna go with no.
some of the live people this might be a spoiler, but randomly exchanging co-hosts to other podcasts.
Yeah, we did that 3 years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Did we randomly exchange co-hosts, or did we just randomly exchange
Well, it's just members.
podcast?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it was just we all uploaded to.
We all
Recorded
uploaded to
other-
different
Yeah.
sites. Yeah, that's what it was, and that was fantastic. I'm sorry. Back to Dials fucking won that hands down. It was great, but we should do that again.
I vote no because you'll send me to the Birmingham Barons.
Yeah, we will. Keep you on a time clock, Mr. Talk a Lot. Anyway, so no, getting back to why we have Dion on here, I think we should do an X-Wing Hall of Fame, just to honor the people that don't get talked about a lot, that really do the legwork of the scene. I mean, it could include anyone from, the world's winners kind of already have their own thing. They're already taken care of, maybe. And maybe year by year they get incorporated in as well. But I just think there's way too many people on the back end that don't get appreciated,
Yeah.
Like Wade. Wade Pache.
I mean, it's hard to. Yes, I 100% agree. Wade does a lot. It's also hard because he actually works for the company, right?
I
There's
know,
that
but-
weird
How many of us have Wade on our Facebook messengers and bug him on a fucking constant basis?
None
Oh,
of
I mean,
us.
None of
no,
us.
none of
do.
us. None of
None
us
of
do.
us
There isn't.
None
There
of
isn't a
us.
single one.
I'm the only one then, huh? No, I only bug him because I'm a store owner and I need this shit. But
Yeah.
no.
We were about to allude to this earlier, me and Tyler, but holy crap, Control S Vassal is the best Vassal.
Yeah, man.
That is when you can just reveal dial auto move with a Control S, it's easy, super easy.
But
No
I
one
mean, let's not be conceited. Dion should definitely be a first ballot. I mean, well, no, maybe not a first ballot.
Now,
Second.
if we're
But,
talking
I
if we're
mean,
talking like original, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
Ruan and Anti-Grapist, right?
Mhm.
Like people who helped make the stuff originally.
Yeah.
Before I was there.
So Sozin for sure. So I mean, if you're gonna throw way back, you got people like Pisquid from you guys might not even know who that is, but Dion will for sure.
Yeah, I know
Like-
who this good is.
like those guys that did a lot of the early Team Covenant. Like, here's how you fly in formation. Like, here's what you can do. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of.
Do we even throw Major Juggler a bone here? I mean, he did put all that linked. It's still there.
Yeah.
All those links and stuff like that. That took work.
I mean, I think all the supporting sites. I mean, right? Cryodex, Chico.
Yeah. Fuck. I mean, I don't want to give Chico another goddamn award, but I mean,
but that's a real thing though. Like all the judges, right? Like, I mean, like Chico does a great job. You got Brent, you've got Ian, you've got all those guys that like they come together, and it's just, like those are the people you send shit to, right? Like, hey, how's this work?
How are those? I mean, those judges don't get near enough.
Oh no,
there could clearly be, let alone like a separate wing of the Hall of Fame just called the Hall of Judges.
Just Hall of Fame of Judges, yes.
It's the Illuminati.
I think this would be a great give back to those guys who are never going to get anything out of this other than the hard ass work they put into it.
Is Dion breaking into some place?
No, he's working his way
into my own house.
But man,
Looks
I guess
like he's got a police body camera on and he's breaking in.
I do like the fact that Dion did say that the next set of goldies are going to be. I love the fact that it should be a huge selection, and then when it gets whittled down, it should go to a select few. I mean, you leave it up to the mass public to determine who wins.
They'll just type in Soontir Fell everywhere. It'll just be
Soontir Fell wins fucking every Goldie next year. But no, I got Dion on here just to throw my idea out there because that's all I do. I'm the ideas guy.
Hey, everybody needs one.
I am in. I'm in. So I got to get inside, but I'm in on the Hall of Fame. Oh shit.
Ooh, that's no good.
That's not good at all.
Shh. In on the Hall of Fame.
Back to the car.
Did you see how make that happen? And more Goldies information. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm not.
Bye, Dion. I love you.
My house. I swear.
Good night, Dion.
Dion. Remember to wear your OCX shirt to bed.
I wore it yesterday to run. Bye.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't fit into my OCX shirt right now. Hey, that's not my fault. If it was a large, it'd be fine. Someone only had a medium left when it got to me.
Oh no, well, yeah, that might have been my fault.
I mean,
you only wear children's small T-shirts whenever I see
no. Those are all adult larges. I promise. I just have a big frame.
Yeah, I was gonna say like his frame alone requires a large.
Well, no, so matter. Like if I'm down at 195, I can wear a medium pretty easy. But like, because the problem is they don't get longer, so they all sit at my fucking belly button.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why you have such fashionable underwear.
Who wears underwear? Come on now. It's 2019. You want to give them all the show? Yeah.
There's the answer to your question. None.
Yeah.
None.
You want to give. Well, let's see. I guess we're not giving many people a show at X-Wing events, but got to remember, like, I'm literally going from. I have the Indianapolis Hyperspace trial. It's like April 16th. And then I'm going to Destin for a week to play beach volleyball, like April 23rd through the 29th. And then Destin. Bloomington is, it's the best. Like it's my favorite week of the year, every year. And then May 4th, which is like right as I get back, the following weekend is the Bloomington Hyperspace trial. So I'm going to go from nerds to nothing but athletic beach people to nerds.
I'm sorry. I'm not buying your bullshit. This happens to you literally every year.
It does. This is a positive though, because this year I don't have to drive to Minneapolis though, which is a huge win. Because the 14 hours each way is real rough, but then when it's like literally 4 days later, I have to then drive 8 hours to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right, I had a couple like titles because Luke in the OCX pregame show, he was like, "Oh, you need to like when you announce Tyler and you'd be like King of Bros, Tyler Tippett. I'm like Smasher of Volleyballs,
Do it,
Hero
yeah.
of the Empire, all the titles.
The chaddest of chads.
I didn't get that memo.
Oh, it was before you got here. That's right.
Yes.
All right. Well, for all of you still watching, I
Go to
thank
bed.
God you
Why?
all. Yes,
Like,
yes.
what-
We're all gonna be going to bed. But I'm
Like,
just
what
gonna
are you
let
doing
know.
with your life?
We're not no longer categorized as a new podcast. So I want this fucking Goldie, people. I want this Goldie bad.
Start a
And
Twitter campaign.
you all know me. I do not petty myself to make you do shit. I don't ask you to do other than like bomb the crates page every once in a while. But in the next coming of weeks, I'm gonna ask maybe share the link every once in a while. You know, let's get the numbers up there because God damn it, if Birmingham Barons wins again, I'm gonna probably
Well, I mean,
no,
they're not in.
They can't win the new squad. The new
Yeah,
no. I know the best
They have to compete with the big boys too now.
guys.
So
I'm
they're not.
sorry. Minox are out. That's fine.
Are they?
The Kings have fallen. I'm
What do you
good
mean
with
the
that.
Minox are out. Why are they
Minox are out. I gotta contend with scum and villainy. They're finally fucking coming back.
What do you mean Minox are out? Why are they
Minox
out?
had a really good episode with Kevin Lines.
Yeah.
That was very good.
I listened to it. It wasn't that great.
Don't
Kings
listen
of
to
Fun.
him, Ryan. I love you.
Minox just have the blind following, but they're not the best podcast. They're not.
Well, it's so okay. Like this is one of those things that gets weird too, because like it's like what's considered the best podcast, right? Like because like we all do something different,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like you go to the like I mean memes aside, you go to the Minox to like get the cards read to you and like have interactions explained. Like they do that really well. Like and that's not a bad thing to have. It's just that's what they do. Like you come to Scum and Villainy because like we fuck around. Like sure we'll give you some like competitive insight or whatnot, but like we're just kind of there, you know. Like you go to the crates because they're going to insult everybody and it's funny. Like you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not going there because you're like, oh man, we have to get this in-depth analysis. No, you want to listen to Zach freak out in a car.
You bring up a very good point. What does constitute the best podcast of the year?
Yeah, well, and it's because like I mean, like
opinion.
I'm very certain that if you were to poll like the podcasts people actively listen to, right? Like there's not like you will see very divergent groups, right?
That's where it is. You get that's what happened last year is you got the bases.
Yeah, well, because like the people like the Minneapolis
Radio
guys,
TCX,
right? Yeah, like Radio TCX and like Minox, I guarantee you have a very overlapping.
They're huge
listener base, right?
Yeah,
it's not even that there's a big base. It's just like people that like that also like this over here.
But
they probably also don't. Well, that's a whole different story. I'm just talking about in general what people enjoy, because people that enjoy those two types of podcasts probably don't enjoy like OCX or Scum and Villainy or Crates, right? Because like we're just a different style, like. How we talk, what we bring to like, it's just different, and that's okay, right? Like
that's why when I started this Goldies idea, it wasn't called Goldies. What the hell did I X-Wingies? No, it wasn't that. Anyway, when I started the award show with Dion, and he's like, "Yes, this is a great idea," and then he took it off and went on. I says, "Dion, but you make sure that you poll." And you get the top 5 from everywhere. You do the large poll. But you have to have like 20. It's like the Oscars. You got to have like the committee that goes back and they listen to and they make the educated guess. Like
sure,
that's what it should have been. But it was, and I get it. It's harder work to do that. But
and let's be real. Like this, it's okay. Like it's a popularity contest. Okay.
It is a popularity contest.
Sure.
Oh, fuck it. Of course it is.
Right? Like
and it's a popularity contest that I want to fucking win because
that's fair.
Chico always holds that Goldie that he won over me.
Should I hold my Goldie that I won over you?
Jesus Christ! Don't tell me you won a goalie too.
Yeah, I had one. I mean, apparently they specifically made one for me because it was most likely to blind dead something.
Yep.
I'm like, oh yeah,
not-
no, that's me.
So, coach, here's how you do it. You find something that they make a category for, like Uncle Mark is doing.
So drunkest
what's
host.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
gonna be
know.
rough,
Kelvin,
man. That's
Kelvin might be there.
No,
Yeah,
Kelvin. Kelvin
but-
doesn't fucking shine a light on that one.
But at least there's competition. In Blind Dead, there was one.
Dude, that's not true. There was like dozens of us. The rest of them just sucked.
I want to win the big one.
But
boys.
you're the hero of the empire
I
wanna
was
win the big
with your,
one.
with your blind.
You're goddamn right.
I want best picture of the year.
Best picture.
That's what I want.
Well, then you probably need to get a really good script and a bomb ass supporting
I will.
actress.
Yeah.
So
We
I
have
just,
have
I
you-
just
has-
want the oldest supporting co-host.
Has no one noticed the change of the show lately? No?
no, what do you
It's-
mean?
I thought we got a lot. I mean, ever since 2019 hit, we have been not super content oriented, but like I've stuck us on a path.
Fair. Which is also, but okay, this goes back. Like, is content what people want?
Well, I think we
Like,
give a little
Crates
bit of
seem to be
everything.
pretty popular, and they generally
fuck,
don't have any
Jesus
content.
Christ.
Well, so I think part of the crate thing is like it's just like OCX. There are the groupies of people who will always watch,
Yeah.
right? Both sides. It doesn't matter. And then there's like their
Oh,
content that's there is
There-
so what?
there you go, Dad. Is there a Goldie for
jeez.
most heart attacks by a player?
Oh shit!
No, Padre
Padre
wins.
wins that hands down.
Oh damn. Okay,
So
He's had 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Oh,
Well, he had 2 the last time, but we're claiming it was 1 session in the cath lab, so it's only 5.
okay.
So with crates, there's the high competitive level players that are also looking for the data analysis, and I don't think any other podcast does data analysis like crates provide. So, besides when Major Juggler used to be on Scum and Villainy More, providing all that other data
Well,
that he
so-
collected
yeah,
prior, right?
yeah. For sure.
So,
By the way, for all those still watching, dun, 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 I am making Travis the Johnson be on the show next week. Like he's skated
Okay.
us.
whoa! Why not wait one more week? Then we have the points.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Do it on the
All right.
30th.
Gotcha. Good call. Good call.
Also,
call.
Travis has been super sick lately.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
that's why he hasn't been on the.
No,
He
I mean
wa-
like
he-
he's.
Oh, believe me, I know. Technically, he's supposed to be on tonight.
Oh, fair.
And no, wait. Technically, you guys were supposed to be last week. He was supposed to be tonight.
Oh yeah, fair.
And no, he's like, no, dude. Like he
No,
texted me a week ago. He's like, this is not happening. I was like,
he's just been he's been like it's like 3 or 4 different sicknesses over a month span, kind of a deal, right?
Yeah.
Like he's never had a chance to get better, which sucks. Like
that's
get better,
bad.
Travis.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
like literally in our Aces game, like I got a good engage on him. So like the start of the game was fine, and I engaged well, and I had a good dice swing, like a triple stress from previously panicked pilot Fen Rao one tapped a Nien and his T70 that had lost a shield the previous turn because I blocked Nien with Boba and then I ran into Boba with my own Fen because it's like, oh well, I have Concord Dawn and Fearless, right? Like I'm in. And so then I proceeded to go 3 crits or 3 hits, 2 crits into him on just Fearless dice, right? And kill him. So it's like the game, yeah. So the game's like over at this point, and but we're getting to a point where I'm trying to corner Poe, and he barely gets over the block, and then he's just like positional wise he was kind of screwed, but he still had black 1, and you just totally forgot he had black 1, right? And so he's like, okay, I barrel roll boost, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, what? I was like, you have black 1. And he was like, that's probably the NyQuil kicking in. I think I've got one more turn. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Yeah. No, Coach, I think there are a couple people who mentioned it. Like, I think our best is going to be best live show.
Yeah.
I don't want best live show. There's only 2 shows that are live.
I think there's
Are
more
there?
than you think.
Who else is doing live shows?
Gold Squad does live because they do actually live their podcasts. But it's only Dion. Like visually, it's only Dion.
Yeah.
I guess to some degree, I think Recon Spec, right? Like Patrick is live.
Fuck Recon Spec.
Oh,
They're noobs.
we're live. Echo Base is live, right?
But they're just bat reps, or they just show. You're not getting it.
Is Echo Base
Ryan?
Kevin,
I want the best picture.
Hey man, you got all right. So you got your work cut out for you.
I want the creme de la creme.
Where you So remember, it's not only, but because here's the big thing though, like we talked about this earlier, it's not about just having the best podcast. It's having the popular support for having the best podcast.
I know, and that's why.
So increase quality, but you also got to get that message out there.
Well, I tell you what, we've been fortunate to have a lot of very awesome Patreons that have stuck with us a very long time, and we've been trying to figure out like what to do with it. Like, and we're pumping out cards, and we're doing this, and we're doing templates, and this and that. And
man, you guys are crazy. That's fine.
Leave it to Kyle going, why aren't we using our Patreon money to send us to tournaments?
Yeah.
And I went,
we did that before.
I went, what? And he goes, how is anybody going to meet us if we just stick in the Midwest?
Yep.
Like, how is that going to happen?
I mean, we've sent Ricky to Evergreen Cup twice now. Like, we sent him to Worlds probably 2 Worlds ago, I think, or something like that. He flew up for, like, he wasn't playing, but, like, he came in, like, hung out and shoutcasted with Dion.
And it was, I wanted to go, no, that's not what it's for. And then he wore me down. I was like, fuck, maybe that's what it is for. I don't know.
I mean, this is coming from the podcast that, like, literally our Patreon money goes to, like, once every other week somebody wins, like, a ship. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, which, I mean, we were just eating before. It goes to all of our back-end software support, which is a decent amount of money. But, like, it's not, you know, hundreds of dollars.
And that's what a majority of ours goes to. Yeah,
well, no, I'm talking for, like, the, like, List Juggler. Or like which is now List Fortress, like paying for those servers and that kind of stuff. Like that's just like we've always done that. Like whatever, it's not a big deal.
Well, that's what you meant. Why you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, no, and Anti-Grapist like made List Fortress. Like, and we built like Sozin built List Juggler originally. Like, and Sozin has like a whole group of community programmer guys that like kind of work on different X-Wing projects for stuff. So like all those guys are great, but so I mean we buy people beer at events, right?
Oh yeah,
we spend money on, right? Like, and half the time I forget to turn in the receipts anyway, so it's not like I mean like worst case, like I walk up, like I don't know who the fucking Patreons are, like I know who I see like names in our Discord channel, but like there's more of them than that, right? So someone's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a Patreon. I'm like, I'll probably buy you a beer without questioning it, like whatever.
Like, Coach, I'm like, we have a team at Crate Cup. So we'll be hitting East Coast.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
But so no, like, but I mean, like, okay, no, this is we'll wrap back. Thank you, Ryan. So like, making sure that there's 2 separate sides of like the Patreon, right? Like you've got the Minox side of the Patreon where it's like, hey, like support us through Patreon, and like here's what you're getting at each of these spaces, right? So like you have to do those things, but like that doesn't have to be what Patreon is for, right? Like, you can like the fact that Ricky puts on the Aces League and just want to like come hang out with us, you know, listen to us or whatnot. And then, you know, twice per year we fly someone someplace or help cut costs on like the hotel stay, like when we're all together kind of a deal, right? Like whatever. Well, I don't think anybody would be mad about that.
The way we do it is basically if you reach that, like if you're a $1 Patreon. Like in 5 months, you get the $5 prize.
Oh, okay.
And then once you reach that, so basically, if you're a $20 Patreon, you get everything, and then you get everything after that.
Sure.
Like anything we put out, we already send it out because you've already reached the tier, blah blah blah.
Yep.
But
I'm ready for bed. So
I'm sure you are.
I am too. Don't worry, We're wrapping this up. I am too.
I'm about to say we should probably say goodbye to all the live people. Still 17 people
Why
watching.
are you
Jeez.
here? Stop it.
You
Go to
don't
bed.
I don't know.
You
Crazy
don't
assholes.
understand, Tyler.
I
Like,
don't.
I
This
haven't
is
done anything with them.
they
They're
don't
around
watch
here
Jimmy Fallon. They
Hi,
watch
Mom.
Wait, no, come on. This is Tyler.
Ways.
Tyler, get your
What?
mom on. This is the one time
What?
we can
I said
actually
that-
get her.
Oh,
I said, Dad,
what do you-
tell Mom hi.
This is the only time.
Tyler's wanting me to tell you hi, and Coach is going. She's got to come. She's waving.
No, she can't hear Tyler unless she puts some headphones on.
Tyler's on the screen right here.
Hi, Bud.
Nope,
Hi,
doesn't
Mom.
count.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on,
Hi, Bud.
come on.
He's going. Coach is going. That doesn't count. Come on. She's
Come on, Mama
tired.
Tippett.
Mama
Nobody's
Tippett's
watching.
straight to bed.
Nobody's watching right
There's
now.
only-
There's just 17 people
No,
watching.
no. There's zero. There's 2 people watching.
Tyler's egging you on. Nope.
But-
She just went in. She just went into the closet of Narnia.
Right. Are you just family random question? Are you here this weekend? Or are you home? Because I'm supposed to be playing in Chicago, so I was gonna see if you could take my dog. Because my dog sitter girl.
Watching.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, because I have someone lined up for when I'm in Arizona. But
He goes and does fun stuff and leaves the dog with
You
his
know,
mom and
you
I.
should be asking
In the snow.
You
I
should be
just-
asking,
like,
when am I
yes.
going to get that grandchild question?
no, I'm giving her them the grandchild. It's,
Which
it's
I
the dog. She's
originally
10.
wanted to ask at the beginning of the
He's
show,
going to
but I
Chicago
figured
this
that
weekend.
might
He
have been a
doesn't
little.
anybody to watch the dog.
Oh no, they know. They ask about grandchildren. I tell them that
Whatever.
Lauren's working her way right over there. She could have
When
kids
you
anytime.
When are you bringing her? When are you bringing the dog over?
I could tomorrow ish. See what happens.
He could tomorrow-ish. See what happens. Which
All right,
sounds
chat.
to me like I'm picking her up Friday anyway.
Well, so the reason I was going to see I have a girl that can start watching her here, but if we get snow dumped on, I don't want her driving over from Peoria to East Peoria. Versus if she's already there.
But Dad can have a heart attack taking her for a walk in the snow.
Just let her out in the fenced in area. If you get enough snow, she can't run off.
I want to see. I want to do a little test right now. I want to see if the chat actually can put a 1 in the chat box, because it's always 2. 1, should Tyler get on this whole grandbaby thing for Uncle Mark?
Hard
Or
pass.
2, deny. Fuck you, Tommy. Damn it.
Get out of
Tommy?
here, Matt.
You are. Or yes, we got a 1.5.
Coach didn't even finish his 2.
Yeah, we don't even know what 2 is.
2
but-
is he lives the rest of his life carefree and childless, and there we go. Okay, so the chat can put up a 1 every
Chris is
once
dead
in a
to
while.
me. Yeah. There's lots of extenuating circumstances for the lack of children in my life.
Oh,
Most of which I don't live in the same city as my girlfriend.
that never hurt any sailor.
Well, no, it hurts the raising of children side of things.
Oh, well,
Sure, I
yeah,
could go randomly make one. That's not a problem. I mean, I could make lots of babies if that was the goal. But
It'll be loved, I guarantee you.
but
no, Mark's like, nope, nope.
I think it's more likely that I provide my parents with a grandchild before Tyler, because at least I'm married.
yeah. Well, I mean, you've got we've been together forever, so it's it's a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. Get on that.
Well, hey, it's not my fault. I told her when we first started dating that we were not going to get engaged until this whole FAA shit had settled down and we were both in the same city. It is not my fault that over 4 different government shutdowns and the academy getting shut down and reopened and her getting transferred lots of places. That's
bullshit.
She knew what she was getting. Hey, she agreed to the deal. She knew what she was getting into. It's not my fault that
on it.
I don't have to put a ring on it.
Put a ring
It's a
on
terrible
it.
idea.
It's a fantastic idea.
I don't
Believe me.
believe you. I
Marriage
don't believe
and children are great.
you. Aren't I awesome, Dad?
Very well. It's got little TIE fighter wings on it.
Oh, nice.
Well, one of these days we'll get you.
But hey, I provided a grand dog. I did that. I did my duty. I did that almost 10 years ago, April.
Yeah,
and now
I
you
got,
want him to
like,
watch your dog.
Oh no, okay, hold on. So they used to watch her all the time, or I would kennel her. And then I had a really great stable of poor college girls that would come watch her for me, and I could just like give them money. It was awesome, right? Like, and then like one of them like graduated and is now like a full-time nurse and just doesn't have time for it. And the other one went to fucking Mexico.
A good stable of poor college girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not a good start of a sentence.
Sure it is. It's a great. Oh, I promise you, it's a great sentence.
No, like same thing with Tyler. My parents have a grand cat. It's fine.
Hey, don't worry. You give them grandkids, they get sick and tired of them too.
I don't think so.
At least mine do. I developed some pretty fucked up kids.
All right, we should probably say bye to the live chat.
Good night, live chat.
So, would you want to know more about the the College of Poor Stable?
Yes.
I mean, so it's basically
no one tells you the tragedy of the poor college girls.
No, it's I mean, it's generally because the majority of the girls that I play volleyball with
are in college.
Well, they're in college, and if you're in college, you're poor, right?
Correct.
Like, in theory, there's someone that's not poor that's in college, but I've never met them. So
I did, and I didn't date her, and I should have.
Man, you fucked up.
I should have.
Dumbass.
I told you,
right? I'm married for love, not money.
My retirement plan is 100% trust fund, but
his trophy bride should be born about now.
no, that's the second wife after I get the part of the trust fund and the divorce. Like
they always say, first marriage for love, second one for money. It works for guys too.
No, that's for girls. Guys, the first marriage is for money. Then all the rest of the marriages are fun. Or love, sure, whatever you call that.
Are brief. That's probably what they should say.
Yeah, right. So one of my buddies is on his. So he's been divorced twice. Although, like, the first one was very understandable because they had like a child death. Like,
should we not broadcast this? Or?
I'm not telling whoever it is. They're not going to. The second one was like he shouldn't have got married, right? Like the girl wanted to get married.
I have to hit the stop broadcast now.
Yeah, we're going to stop broadcast. Good night, everyone.
It's a fun story. They're fine.